Are you ready to get good? Enter Globe Gamer Grounds, your gateway to good gaming.
Welcome back, folks. You're still watching the Alliance games here, the grand final between FIT and HAU here in Wild Rift with game number 1. Sorry, medyo naudot lang yung ating draft here, but we will be continuing right now. And tapos na. Dash.
Okay. So nakita natin with the draft, no? I'm really surprised about this kasi they have the Varus on the side of Valiant Esports kasi we don't usually see this on the hands of Shino unless they're gonna be giving him the Corki. But with this draft, I can see a lot of targets for ATSC Mayhem, especially that Akshan. That Akshan would be pretty scary on this lineup because he has a lot of targets, and even the backline can be easily breached here by the side of ATSC.
I have to ask you though, sorry, Salutor.
Yes, that's
Which
me.
draft do you think is, which one do you like better here?
Okay, at pick on paper, I really like Valiant Esports' lineup so far because they have this mix of damage and as well as crowd control. They have this sort of tankiness and crowd control from the Gragas and as well as overall damage from the Varus and the Cossacks. And because of that, I see them forcing some things in the early game that would probably not matter much when it's drafted the other way around. But right now, Valiant Esports' current lineup in terms of the bot lane and as well as quite possibly how the jungler will play on the bot side is heavily favorable towards them. So that's why I really like the How lineup.
Okay, so I would like to honestly, one of the things that I really like about the Varus is the early game pressure to get for Gragas, right? But the problem here is they have the Karma, Nautilus. Those are neutral laners. So you will not defeat those laners, which is the reason why ATEC might have the easier time here unless they would have a chance for Shino to snowball the early game. Because if the Varus won't snowball the early game with the typical armor penetration build that they usually do, that is when they have a problem here. Because the only late game champion that they have here is the Corki.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you there. And also, I would just like to point out, I do like the Gragas pickup here from Valiant Esports.
That's good, yeah.
If you take a look at the composition of ATEC as a whole, what do they want to do? They want to go for a fight. They want to dive. They want to go for the Dredge line into a Wukong ult, into the Akshan slinging to your face. Having a Gragas is, of course, that good safety net to go and disengage. However, it doesn't necessarily fits the memo here for me. I mean,
that's true.
They have an Aatrox, they want to go for extended fights. They have a Kha'Zix that don't want to go for team
extended
fights at all, and want to just go for isolated fights. And then you have a Gragas. It feels like there's a lot more cohesion for the 8-tech plan here.
So yeah, with that being said, I still trying to be lenient that the fact that Valiant Esports' lineup is a mix of I would want to skirmish in the same as no, we don't want to, because yeah, you have that sort of lockdown with the Gragas and the Varus from his ulti, and as well as a mixture of yes, I do want to fight from the side of 8-tech. So there's a mix of balance in between because we all know how 8-tech is very centric on the early game and as well as Valiant for the mid to late game. So with those two things clashing, I think there will not be much more forcing of fights, quite possibly, but from what I see, since this is the lineup 8-tech built, they will have to try to go for like very early invades, go for like very ballsy dives, something like that. So with that, Valiant Esports still, I really am a fan of their lineup, mainly on the Varus pick.
Okay, I was really surprised because if this was a mid laner, the Akshan is gonna be the mid laner, it could have been better because. This might be a bit hard because remember, Akshan does have super low range. That is what I have a problem here onto the bottom lane because that is when Shino would just dominate this lane if the Akshan would be there. But as long as they would be able to get the damage or at least make it easier for themselves, it would be great.
Here we have the head-to-head matchup. Shino versus Yato here, one from each team, and these two players are definitely the one to watch here. But I do have to ask you guys, there's a lot of questions about Yato's performance, particularly his consistency.
Yes,
Do you think that will be resolved yourself?
Okay, it's still an ongoing theme with the Wild Rift Spectrum and AA that Yato, when it matters the most, he definitely chokes. So with that, will that question be answered today? Honestly, I would say yes, because this is his time. There is no more second chances right now. He needs to step up right now because he needs to kill the narrative right now that he is the biggest choker, and as well as to dethrone Valiant Esports once and for all. Yeah, that's why Yato needs as well because he doesn't want to. He needs to step up.
Again, thanks so much, Salvatore, for joining us here for our first game.
Thank you
Any
so
last words
much.
to our viewers before you leave?
Good luck to Valiant Esports and as well as ATech for this amazing series. You will be making people smile tonight. And huge shout out to TUP Gear for making this possible for me. Without the guidance of you guys, I will not be here in the office of AA. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye and good night.
Good night, Salvatore. Here we go, another fight. Already starting up here, Dash. Both teams hot on their heels. Hema down to 1 HP. Has to force the flash away. Ito na si Yato to swing around the map like Tarzan. Nivlek, 1 HP left, flash away as well. But the stun for the first blood. Here comes Fragile on the board.
Okay, great first blood onto their side. ATEC being aggressive on their jungle. That is exactly what they needed. They needed to get the easy kill onto their side and try to delay Haru as fast as they can. Because remember, Haru has a great early game. And that's why if he loses that early game, that is when they lose.
Yeah, let's talk about some win conditions here. Dash, what do you think they have to do here on both squads to secure the victory here? Because we talked about the draft here earlier, right? There's a lot of cohesion over towards ATE side. Meanwhile, that cohesion from HAU is not as present as I hoped here. So what are the win conditions here for HAU specifically this game?
Okay, so for HAU, they still have a lot of... one of the things that they need to do is make Haru as fast as they can. They need to kill the enemy as fast as they can because they have the early game power with Shino and Haru having the Kha'Zix and also having the Bears. So, onto the other side, ATEC, they need to get onto the late game because remember, they still have a lot of power. They have a lot of bruisers. They want to go for long fights. So that's why they want to get onto the early mid game, get the advantage.
Exactly. They're trying to nip that aggression in the bud right now. That's exactly the reason why they are doing this push all so deep down to the top tier 2 turrets here. But ATEC, they have found themselves a bit of an advantage already, right? 8.4 thousand, around a 1,200 gold lead is not a lot if you think about it, but considering the positions of the drafts of both sides here, I think that is a very huge lead here this early.
And remember, we also talk about, during the time of Worlds, we also talked about it a lot. Gwen is basically the second best counter that they could have here onto an Aatrox. So having that is a great chance. And remember, look at that, Enma. Very small wins there, getting the blue buff, denying Haru that blue buff is going to be very big for them in the long run.
I love that you pointed out the Gwen into the Aatrox matchup because do you remember how that went out in Worlds?
Yeah, they lost.
And exactly. And that is the thing that Cool is looking forward to repeat right now. That success on the Aatrox here over towards the top side of the map. However, Conqueror pops, forcing out the exhaust. Fragile on the rotate over towards the top side of the map as well, but not drawing any attention for the moment.
I like the fact that all of these laners, especially Shino, already rotated onto the mid lane, because most of the time we don't usually see them rotate already as fast as they could. But looking at how it works, they're denying Cool the space that he needs, and that's why everybody's always on the top lane, and that's why Cool can't even have a cool time on the top side.
And it's forcing Haru to rotate over towards the top side of the map as well. I mean, look at the attention that he's pivoting towards here. Hindi pa nga enough eh. He's calling for help from Kome as well. And that really is suffocating here for the members of HAU. What can they do with this early aggression from ATEC? I mean, they've been fighting fire with fire here, and HAU, it seems like they are the ones that are getting reduced to sparks right now.
Yeah, remember, it's a big win condition. All right there, you look at that, the depth charge onto the top lane already. They have used it. They want to dive onto the top side, but they have cancelled it, which is pretty nice. But we have seen the ultimate chain corruption onto the mid lane. They already have the kill here. Yato is going to fall down. That's going to be the first blood, or first kill onto their side right there, and they are going to be following it up with another. Cool is going to fall, and that's the trade all over the map.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade so far. At least we find a little bit of space for Haru, but what was
lane.
the cost? They got a kill as well. The top side, okay, explosive cast is going to secure that kill over towards the side of HAU. Hurts to look for another engagement, but not enough space bought as of yet. It's just a 2-for-2 here so far.
Yeah, this is what I love about How though. They know when to rotate. They know if they have a chance to win on this fight, and that's why they rotated already onto the top side. They wanted to go there. They saw the opportunity. They took it.
Exactly. So ATech, with a lot of consistency in this early game, they have to keep this up though, because they still haven't been able to robustly take the advantage here Oh, full pop by
Ah.
Yato. It's
Good
just
honey fruit.
Gonna be there. Yeah, honey fruit to save the day here for Cool.
Yeah, got the first turret onto the top side.
Oh,
ATEC knows how to play their towers.
Rift Herald
First
too.
turret onto the top side. Rift Herald is going to be up. They have space on that side of the map. It is going to be pushed, but it's okay. They already have the space, and that's going to be big. Looking at how ATEC is playing this, they're playing the map all over and how it's slowly choking against them.
Yeah. My eyes on Haru here. Are ATEC going to converge towards that break where they have information on Haru? It seems like they will not be going for the Rift Herald, instead
Pretty
going for the
fast.
contest. Enma
Too
is
late.
already here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a late for the call, but here comes the Cyclone. Haru has got the invisibility,
have
but
flash?
it is not
Okay.
enough. Haru goes down, but at least they take the Drake here. Dan.
Timing's just right, but Val How is going to be able to take the Drake, which is very big for them, and even take that risk, Cutler. Very small wins right there, but ATEC still can take the Rift Herald if they want to.
Oh, but the thing is, this is very conditional for HAU, right? It's very conditional
Oh.
on the success of Haru. And can you even say at this point definitively that Haru is finding success in this early to mid game? How many minutes has it been since the game has started, and Haru has not been able to become the proactive jungler? Instead, it's Enma with the rest of the ATEC squad. Now he's calling upon his teammates. The reinforcements here in HAU. They're starting off this Rift Herald.
Wait, really? They're losing on this one. They're starting the Rift Herald right now. 3k HP. They might be able to start this. Oh, look at that explosive gas. Pushes back. Yato is going to fall down. Yams is down. And this is going to be great for ATEC. He's going to fall right there. And then Haru is going to fall, but it's still a 2-for-1. Great timing for the side right here of How, and they are winning this fight.
Perfect explosive gas there from Kome, splitting up the members here of 8 ATC. This is the key for their type of playstyle here. They have to not let these long engaged fights go on for ATEC. However, Ao was able to find a response, and that is in the form of a turret, on top of getting the full turret plates.
Yeah, time and time again, we've talked about it a long time ago, that whenever it comes down to it, taking down the mid lane turret is the bigger.
Of course.
Even if you take down the top lane turret,
Yeah.
the bot lane turret, even if it's 2, the mid lane turret gives you the most space. And that's why right now, I think How still has the advantage, even if they have a 1.5k gold lead on the side of ATEC.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here from HAU, recognizing where they can pivot that attention towards, but they have to repeat that again here, Dash. I keep stressing it out, but Haru has still not found that rhythm. In fact, it's still a massive gold deficit here, not just for Haru, but take a look at the difference in gold between Cool and Ao. Almost, more than a 2,000 gold lead for the Gwen of all champions. Gwen!
Their win condition. And this is what they need, though. They need to make more space. Shino gonna be the target, though. I think it's gonna fall here.
Yeah.
No contest,
Now, no explosive gas enough, or not. Kome is not close enough for the explosive gas there. And here comes the demolish onto the middle side. And sabi mo nga, Dash, that mid turret is going to be
That's
of mass
big.
priority.
Oh!
Huge explosive gas.
Explosive
Second, all of them for the 4 people. Haru coming in from the backline, but there's no isolation damage. It's okay.
They
All
need to
4
back
people
away.
of HAU are here. Flash over the wall.
Oh,
Yabs
Cool
gonna
is
get
here.
chased down by Cool. Double knockup. And Yabs running for the
Survives.
hills. Are they going to survive this encounter? Cool is
Here
not
comes
done
Ao.
yet, but Ao, remember, has got
Oh.
2,000 more gold. Immediately cancelled. Exhaust
Cool.
onto the
What?
Gragas, and it's an all-out war here. ATEC,
Wow.
they cannot survive.
They cannot fight, and Cool is just at the forefront of everybody, and that's why right now we are seeing how Valiant Esports just winning all these fights, and ATEC, even with Ao on the 7k gold, can't even fight back.
They just can't. The damage isn't there. The execution is as good as it could get there. And HAU splitting up the map here. Cool making it just in time. And look here at Kome. Look at how he cancelled
Wow,
Ao,
yeah.
immediately forcing out everything. And the follow-up is just picture perfect here for
Yeah,
HAU.
the cancel to the body slam to the knock-up from the Aatrox was perfect. And the Darkened Blade, especially with Cool, he has been hitting all those sweet spots since a while ago. And that's why I think right now we need to take a look at this problem. On the side of ATEC, they want to go for fights, but most of the time they're thinking 2 things. They want to split push, they want to take kills. They need to just go with one. Because
Exactly.
right now, Ao, nobody could 1v1 Ao at this point.
Yeah, the difference maker that we're seeing right now is the shot calling between HAU and the ATEC. It seems like despite the deficiencies in their comp, they're making it work by raw macro potential and by raw cohesion here by Valiant Esports. It's just a phenomenal showing here, definitely compensating for what they lack in terms of the composition. And because of that, Dash, yung gold natin is already starting to go in favor of HAU.
At least it's equal, and that's what's great worried about this though, because they have the 2 towers, and mid lane was able to survive with 60 HP a while ago. They weren't able to take it, but right now it's very important to note that they need to go for it as fast as they could, because a while ago they weren't able to take any of the objectives. They need to contest this right now, but remember, second tier turret is down in the mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of control over the map here for HAU, but can they spread that control over towards the side lanes here? They still need a little bit of that aggression on the first tier 1 or the tier 1 turrets over the top and bottom side, just so they can contest these objectives a little bit more. 19 seconds left on the Drake, and it was the Sheriff Herald second spawning up here on the top side in 3 seconds, so both teams starting to make the rotation.
They have the package too on the side of how Valiant Esports. They can start this whenever they want to, because look at them setting it up. Haru starting the Rift Herald right now. They can go for it, but they're really afraid. Kelvs needs to just get in here, divide the fight, can't even contest that. This is the problem with ATEC. They haven't contested anything now.
Yeah, and exactly. Just the presence here of Kome is enough to scare them off. I mean, just the threats of having an explosive gas explode at their face is more than enough attention given towards ATEC, and it's fighting the back big time here. Flash forward into the body slam. There comes the package as well, but the execution is not as perfect as it could be for HAU, as Haru was already started up the mountain Drake into the back line.
What a cast!
But Cool finally going down. Cast will be used just to buy a little bit of time, but HAU, they picked up the Drake.
Losing the investments here, ATEC, even if they got the kill there, I can't stress it enough. They're losing a lot of these objectives, and How has been winning a lot. Even they can take down the towers anytime they want. This gold lead is just gonna balloon in favor of How Valiant Esports because of the sheer stats that they have right now, and they can just take this pretty easily in the bot side.
I gotta say, even though it's looking like a dead even game here, Dash, HAU are playing ATEC like a fiddle right now. The map is theirs. They know it. They rotate it like the back of their hand, and they're looking pretty good doing it. I mean, yung simula tayo na FIT yung may advantage in terms of objective takes, but that is just not true anymore. If this trend continues on like this, Nivlek is just going to come online. Shino is going to come online. Ever so slowly, these carriers from HAU are going to start taking over the game unless ATAC become the proactive member now.
The damage is getting stronger and stronger, especially for Nivlek, for Kelvin, right here onto the side of Valiant Esports. Because right now, looking at it, there's not a lot of damage sources that we can have on the side of ATEC. We do have Ao on the Gwen. Yes, it's there, but he needs to get close. The problem there is, there's the presence of Kome.
Exactly.
Kome has been a great instrument on the reason why Ao is not going to be able to get this. Look at this. Needlework, just one explosive gas is going to be away, but right now, we don't have the explosive gas. Might be a chance for ATEC.
Exactly. And they might be forgetting that it's not just the Gwen front that they can approach here. Enma could start the fight here as well. Fragile is here. Yato can deal that damage, albeit not as much as Nivlek at this point, but ATAC, they have to look for other opportunities here. Val has a lot of attention over towards shutting down Ao right now. That's a good thing for them. They can take it that way, but look at his. The dredge line connects onto Haru, and that is just a dead Kha'Zix.
Yeah, 10k gold onto Haru. We have seen him losing a lot of gold a while ago, but we haven't seen him get the 10k. That was a surprise for me, okay? But he has 3 items, and they got the kill already. So this is big for ATEC. They need to grab those opportunities whenever they can, because they have been losing it since a while ago. Baron is going to be up. They don't have a jungler for 15 seconds.
It's going to be rough here. FIT, they have to press forward, look for a fight.
Needlework
has already been activated. The snip, but another perfect explosive gas, and Ao goes down. TEC running for the hills. Now it's the Aatrox time to shine. Gets shut down, gets airborne. The Cyclone into the back line. Beautiful stuff here from TEC. They turn it around. HAU has to minimize losses, and they do just a 1-for-0 here, Dash.
That is what they're looking for. I saw it now. ATEC, the reason why they got Yato onto the Akshan is those opportunities. Even if they lose one, even if they lose Ao, it doesn't matter. They can revive if ever they have the chance. They just need to shut down the big damage sources, or at least take down their front line. Their front line is only Cool and Kome, and they're not that tanky. So they just need to take them all off, and Akshan, Yato, could peel off, or rather take off everybody in the back line.
Although I do have to say, this is a very interesting farming strat here for Haru. Just funneling a lot of this golden XP over towards the Kha'Zix is not, or would not have been, my first choice here. But that's the thing about HAU, right? We talked about it off broadcast. They're a team where nobody has to carry. Even in these types of strategies that are very much oriented towards that snowball, they don't have to use the snowball because everyone is just so consistent. And we're seeing that right now. Not only are there players playing at top form in the micro sense, but the shot calling is just absolutely beautiful here. For How.
Great calls for How since a while ago. The objective that they have been taking, the towers that they've been taking down, ATEC has been forced to be reactive every time.
Exactly.
Is this going to be a chance though? If ever Ao, they have a 1v1 here onto the bottom side, 3 items onto the Gwen, it would be a hard one.
Yeah. I think Cole's got to be careful. He knows that
They're
he is
starting
at a
Baron.
disadvantage, but look at the explosive gas. They know. They have the information here. Okay, ult popped here by the side of Fragile. At least they do bait out the ult, but look at the splits from HAU. Again, the shot calling here just presses on. Exhaust comes out, ult from the Darkened Blade, but the snip just deals so much damage, and the flash is just not going to keep him alive. Cool goes down.
Okay, 3 items, understandable. It's alright, but ATEC right now, it's a 5v4, and also it's a Gwen. So, understandable. But hey, they tried to go for it. This is the only... At this point, I think this is the only reason why they have the Kha'Zix in their composition, is that Haru just needs to take down the objective as fast as he can. We have the Ocean Drake in 24 seconds. No time for Cole to go there. Yes, he would be walking towards it unless he changes this to a teleport, but ATEC, this is their chance to come back. They just need to hold on.
See if they can do that though. Next Drake spawning up in just 10 seconds. Look at the control established here over towards the red side of the map by TEC. They're looking to become aggressive here. Another great cast!
Wow.
And the isolation forces out the stasis over for that Nautilus. But hold this, they are fighting back. Now Gragas goes down. Komi, there is no denial anymore. And TEC, they can look for the Drake.
Komi's dead! This is a chance, not only for the Drake, they can go for the Baron if ever they want to. Nobody is going to be stopping from going on a rampage, and no front line for the side of Valiant Esports. So this is going to be taken. They can go for the Baron if ever they want to. Haru might be the only reason why they're still not going for it. They're playing it safe on ATEC. I think they should go for more aggressive plays.
Yeah, they're giving too much respect for HAU right now. They should strike while they can. I think it's safe to say here, Dash, that Kome has been the single biggest headache for TEC when it comes to these team fights. I mean, their composition is drafted more towards that team fighting, and when Kome is present, you are not going to get that team fight. Now that he's back into the game, I wonder if this is a right call to reestablish that Baron presence.
Basically, a lot of short range on the side of ATEC. That's why every time Kome gets a 5-man explosive cast, and now that he's alive, another threat is alive. So at least Haru is not that big of a threat for ATEC because of how their composition goes. But here's the thing, if ever they can go for a sneaky Baron or a sneaky Elder right here, might be a chance, because that's the only reason why Haru is still standing there with the Kha'Zix.
But the thing is, with a sneaky play here, Dash, there has to be some consequences, right? Earlier, we saw Cool go down in that 1v1 against Ao. It's at that point where Aatrox cannot stand a chance at all against this Gwen. So if they go for a sneaky play, the punish is just going to be even greater. And that's if they even get the Drake itself or the Baron itself in time. And I'm not sure if Haru has enough damage for that solo. Now, though, the engage is starting off. Enma has got the Cyclone for the stasis. And the airborne is still going to be there. Shiro is going to go down finally into the back line.
They got the hold.
At Haru, the stasis. He goes golden. Forces out the flash here from Kome, but he's down to 1 HP. ATEC, they wiped the floor with HAU.
Okay, they took them down and they want to get from more. Is going to fall down. Needlework's going to be there. Might be the ace right here from Haru. Quadra kill onto Yato. Doubters are going to be... What can he be?
They're going to be doubters
yeah,
all day long. But FIT, they've come to play and they're looking to take the game right now. 24 seconds left, Dash. Is there going to be enough time for the respawn?
No time! They can finish this if ever they want to. ATC are going to be taking our first game datum. Just one fight to cleanse them all. And FIT is going to be taking this first win against the members of Valiant Esports. We have seen them 8 seconds on the clock, and that's it. ATC taking first game.
Wow, it took them some time to ramp up here, Dash, but it was phenomenal showing from FIT, showing that they are not done for this season. They're not done for this split, and they have come to dethrone our Emperors that has been so far dominating over every OG tournament that we've ever seen so far. But all things considered, the start of that game for Holy Angel went as smoothly, or rather the mid game went as smoothly as it could get given the tools that they had. And it was just the draft that signaled the difference here between the Mayhem and Valiant Esports.
Look at the happy expressions from the members right there.
I'll
be happy, right? But hey, with what we've seen there from ATEC, I love the fact that they have, with this draft, I was very doubtful of the Akshan at first, but after that, they showed why they chose the action, the heroic swing every time, gaining a lot of revives, and also gaining a lot of damage from the end game. It was really great for Yato to have that showing right there. The redemption that he need is here on the first game.
Exactly. The game number 1, and I think Yato was the I guess a member that wasn't given a lot of attention to.
Yeah.
I don't know what term I was looking for there. But I go back to my point earlier that the biggest problem here for HAU began with the drafting phase. I mean, sure, it was a fantastic couple of opening picks, a lot of priority picks, a lot of damage, but then they struggled a little bit closing it down pretty well. I mean, the Gragas was a good idea, and I think all of their champions were good ideas in and of itself, but as a unit, it just didn't work as well as TEC.
Yeah, from what we've seen there from Valiant Esports, it's like a different colors altogether. I think that's what I've seen there from their compositions, because they have a lot of early game pressure from the Varus. They wanted to get the early game with the Kha'Zix, but they also had the Corki, the Aatrox, which are really surprising for me when they got those picks, because they need someone to hold them down on the side of ATEC. Yes, they're all going to go in, but they need someone to hold them down in order for them to get a consistent DPS against the members of ATEC. That's why during the last fight, we've seen it. During the last fight, everybody on ATEC was just weaving in and out of the fight, and that's why nobody died on that fight.
Yeah, exactly. So the draft is gonna have to be reshuffled here on HAU's side if they want to have a more unified approach over towards our next game here, Dash. But that's just it for our first game, Dash. I want to pick your brain about the current state of the meta, right? Because there's a new introduction, 2 new introductions to the pool. We got Aatrox and Kayn, if I'm not mistaken. But I do not necessarily see an Aatrox getting a lot of success in these tournaments, because the meta's always been the same for the top lane, right? You got Fiora, you got Camille, and then you got Riven as well, and all of those, and Gwen not to mention, and Yone not to mention. All of those are, let's not sugarcoat it, counters to the Aatrox, right? So it really is a little bit of a struggle to me to realize just how powerful an Aatrox could be. So do you think he's gonna be changing the state of affairs in the top lane anytime soon?
He has a good chance of getting there onto the top lane at least, because what's great about an Aatrox though is that he can make space for himself. He has a lot of CC just from the knockups that he can do during fights, and also a lot of AoE damage. Yes, it's there. He has potential for clashes, but the problem here is in the laning phase. That is the problem. We've seen it a while ago. Aatrox is easily bullied, and until he gets his Darkened Blade up to level 4, it would be pretty hard. So that's why right there, just a Garen of the top lane could probably shut down an Aatrox.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many options to shut down this Aatrox. Which brings me to my next point. Do you think Aatrox is gonna make Yuumi relevant again?
I think not. No. I think not. Honestly, Yuumi by itself is really great. Yuumi is great. Yuumi, but we haven't seen a lot of Yuumi right now in the meta, just because of the fact that with Yuumi, you're losing the potential of getting onto the top lane. We've seen it a while ago, right? During level 1, we've seen both of the supports already onto the top side. That is the meta right now. People want to support the Baron laners just because the Baron laners are the stronger members of your team. You need to make your Baron lane win, because if the Baron lane doesn't win, you're going to be losing the game.
Absolutely true. I do have to agree with you there as well. However, we did not necessarily see the flair from HAU this time, right? The star player that we've been talking about off broadcast here. Do you think they should put more attention towards that bottom side of the map?
Yeah, I think Shino should just go ADC. Exactly. I mean, Varus, yes, it's an ADC, but it's a armor penetration ADC, like a poke ADC, not like the usual that we've seen Shino go forwards. Even a Tristana works on Shino. So I think that should be the adjustment that they could do for the side of Holy Angel University. Just give Shino his toy. Give Shino his toy, and maybe he can do a lot of magic for the team.
Make him comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So do you think though that Shino is better off as an ADC rather than something like a Karma these days?
I think so. Yeah, I really, really think so. Yes, he could adjust. He can adapt to what they can do, but he can just go for the best thing that he can do. He can offer for the team. Because honestly, what's great about Shino as a player is that we see him picking Kai'Sa, picking Vayne on times that Kai'Sa and Vayne aren't even in the meta, and he's always working well with those champions. And I think they could just adjust that on their composition and maybe find a better draft around Shino, and maybe you could definitely win against him.
Okay, one more question here, Dash, and I know this is gonna strike chords in your hearts. Because you have a lot of strong feelings for the Kha'Zix.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going there in this game for HAU. Do you think they should have picked something else?
Yeah, honestly, during the start of the draft, I was surprised that they picked the Kazakhs right there onto the first rotation of the draft because you can pick the Kazakhs. Yes, you have the early game potential, but most of the time it's hard to do just that right now in the meta. You're better off picking a Ribbon. You're better off picking a Yone. Yone is banned, yes. You're better off picking the Ribbon, picking up an Olaf against the Gwen. I think that would have been better for
That's
them.
true.
Because honestly, during the last part of the game, we haven't seen Haru pop up because he doesn't have any chance. Because all of those champions stick together. And that's why he can't isolate anyone.
Yeah, and the gold funneling as well going towards Haru's side. Definitely, it's a sort of misallocation of resources. Had they funneled it to someone else, maybe over towards the Corki,
Kelps, I think
or
Kelps could get
exactly,
that, yeah.
or maybe anyone else, literally, apart from the support and the Kazakhs, could have given them a little bit more of that avenue and keep up with the team fights just a little bit better there. But what a game number 1, Dash.
Definitely.
Hinga muna tayo.
Definitely. Game number 1 was really great. Honestly, I was surprised on how back and forth yung game natin na yun.
True,
Kasi
true.
I wasn't expecting it to be game 1. Eto na tayo
Oo,
agad.
akala
Back
ko
and forth
game
tayo
five.
agad. Kaya yun yung parang, or maybe this is how saying, I don't know, but maybe this is how saying that we can experiment, we can play around game 1, adapt after that. Because we've seen how get good drafts. But that last draft, I think they were playing around. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I think we are. Speaking of drafts, I think we are gonna be seeing something different. That's for sure here.
Yeah.
For HAU, they will be starting off with something different here, seeing as how the last one didn't necessarily work out.
Yeah.
And it starts right here, right now. Valiant Esports down 0-1 against ATEC Mayhem. Some changes are due here, but the priorities, do you think they will change?
Yeah, I think most of the bans na makikita natin dito, there's a lot of respect pa rin when it comes to the champions that they had a while ago. And I think Karma should be a potential ban here for Valiant Esports because honestly, Yabs played really well a while ago with the Karma. Yes, it's very underrated. Whenever the Karma comes in, hindi masyado malaki yung place. Transcendent Embrace is there, pero the pressure that the Inspire gives is just there.
Exactly, and it gives parang back-end support yung Karma.
Yeah.
It enables so much plays here, and couple that with powerful picks
respect.
right now,
Yeah.
It really just makes a lot of sense, right? Lalo na
There you
pagka binigyan mo ng Karma into an Aatrox combo, it makes a lot more sense than the Yuumi proposition that I mentioned earlier. But now it's getting banned away. It makes a lot of sense. Now what this could mean here, Dash, is potentially yung how are they gonna go for the traditional ADC again?
Yeah, they can go for the traditional ADC. Hindi naman nila kailangan i-prioritize yun. Because honestly,
True.
making
No
it the
one's gonna
last
ban it.
pick, it's okay, yeah. Kaya on this side, for the side of ATEC, the safest pick that they could go for here, especially for the type of playstyle that Valiant Esports has, is a Jace. If not a
yes,
Jace,
yes.
probably a Renekton would
Yeah.
be a good first pick here.
Yeah, absolutely. Not banned away, but they're going for the Lucian instead. This is a very interesting choice here.
They can get Jace here.
Exactly.
It's a Valiant.
But if they want to prioritize the Jace, the thing is they have a lot of options. They went for the prio pick on the Aatrox, but now
Yeah, honestly, expected ko na mag-Jace sila kasi this is a very classic matchup. But doubling down on the Aatrox pick kasi without the Gwen, sino itatapat mo dyan?
exactly. I mean, without the Yone too.
Oh,
right?
without the Yone too, yeah.
This is going to be particularly interesting here for ATEC, but of course, I would not be expecting them to prioritize the top laner unless... Actually, no, it's not locked in yet. They could still go for something else here. Braum is not the first choice I would have had in mind, dito, pero considering that this is a Lucian, it makes sense.
Honestly, hindi ko in-expect na ipipick agad nila yung Braum kasi ina-expect nila na magiging or at least magiging double Yabs and Fragile just picking it. But okay, that's better. That's better. Okay. Getting the Aatrox for the first pick kasi the Braum was really surprising for me. But onto the other side, that would be okay. It's not bad on them taking the Braum kasi at least now hindi ganun kalaki yung pressure ni Jace against them if ever magkakaroon sila ng bigger fights. But I was not expecting Enma to just get the Wukong again kasi with this, yes, there's a lot of melee champions on the side of Valiant Esports, and yes, Enma would be very effective, but the problem here is madali lang rin siya i-burst out.
But the thing is, Dash, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And Enma worked pretty well, pretty concisely, or fit pretty well in the composition of ATEC last time, and they did win the game. So from that point of view, it makes some sense, of course. But now they ban away the Varus, which is some attention pivoted towards the bottom side here of Valiant. Pero ito, yung Corky getting banned away, giving a lot of...
Will this be an SKT? They're just going to be giving the Aatrox every time?
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If ever that works, though, there's a lot of options pa per Shino dito. Kasi even if you take down a lot of the ADCs, we still have a lot that Shino could just pick up here. They can go for the Tristana, they can go for the Kaisa Vayne na usually ginagawa nila. But Shino on a Vex. We had seen this once.
Yeah, and Valiant lost.
I hope that's not gonna happen dito sa game na to for them. Renekton is such a great pick kasi against the Aatrox, against the Jace, Renekton pairs pretty well. But I was surprised that until a while ago, we have been seeing ATEC banning the Garen. I think Garen is just a safer pick if ever nasa first pick sila kanina.
I know. They could have pivoted that for something else entirely. I mean, there's a lot of possible options pa dito. So Holy Angel and University, one of those being the Aatrox nga, no, that they have given away for the second time this time. Pero maybe this is more of the same argument as the Wukong pick from Mayhem. They were able to shut down the Aatrox anyway, albeit wala nang Gwen ngayon. So if they can make it work one time, why not gamble a second time? They have a little bit of room to work with. Anyway, guys, remember, this is a best of 5. So it's a true battle of endurance. Pwede tayong umabot ng 5 games dito, and Mayhem is just one on the board for now. So Valiant, pwede pa silang makabalik. It's a race to 3. A lot of damage being pulled up here and a lot of single target CC over towards the side of Mayhem. I have to say, Dash, I still am liking the composition of Valiant Esports now
there you
that
go.
nilabas na nila yung Kaisa. Okay,
There you go.
Okay, not the Vex, not the Vex.
I was looking for that. I was looking for the Kaisa getting picked from their side. Yes, there's a lot of potential magic damage onto the side of Valiant Esports with the Vex. A lot of aggression. This screams yung ine-expect kong draft from the side of Valiant Esports. A lot of aggression, at least now very cohesive itong draft ng Valiant Esports. So I hope na magamit nila ito well, especially at the early stages of the fight. ATEC, looking at their draft data, there's a lot of ways to mitigate that. Valiant Esports, yes, lahat sila papasok. Tingnan mo yung composition ng ATEC. Lahat sila sobrang reactive sa kung ano gagawin ng Valiant.
But the thing is, reaction, is that the best kind of playstyle here in League of Legends Wild Rift? I mean, time and time again, we've been proven that you have to be proactive, get the fight going, so it will keep going in your favor once it begins. So I'm not sure if that is going to be the plan here for Mayhem. I mean, given their composition, they still have a lot of reactive tools, right? I mean, you got the engagement on the Cyclone, you have the ult of the Lee Sin, and you've got the Glacial Fissure mula dito sa Braum natin. This time, yung featured matchup natin is gonna be Prophecy versus Enma here. And yeah, both players on the spotlight, but I'm really looking at the performance from the Kaisa. I'm gonna be honest here, Dash.
Honestly, pag nakita mo na si Shino maglaro, i-expect mo na he's gonna get strong. Yun yung things na when it comes to Valiant Esports, it's always gonna be absolute. Shino is gonna get strong unless they find a way to shut him down on the bot lane. But right now in the meta, we don't usually see a lot of people rotating onto the Dragon lane. So it's a big chance for Shino to just farm away, hack away on the Dragon lane. And just makikita natin, even if maging sakripisyo dito sa school, okay lang yon for Valiant Esports.
But that could also mean that pwedeng mag-Trojan horse type of playstyle dito. Yung FIT, no, become unpredictable and give a lot of attention towards that Dragon lane. I mean, if it doesn't give them a lot of that presence over towards the Rift Herald, okay lang kung ma-shutdown naman nila si Shino, which actually is gonna be the provider of the lump sum of the damage dito over the side of HAU. But for the moment, what I would expect here is a long game, if I'm being honest here, Dash.
A very long game. So right now, we have seen this setup already onto the top side of the map. Makikita natin yan, and that's why I've been saying it a while ago. Now, this is just gonna be good for Shino, kasi right now, the meta, especially on the Dragon lane, you usually see a lot of people just leaving the Dragon lane until their objective comes out.
Exactly. Right now, it's already happening. Dash, a lot of potential na agad yung binigay dito sa top side of the map, but I don't expect we will be seeing any bit of action soon. Perhaps pag nag-rotate na, pero let's take a look at the jungle rotations on both sides, right? Enma starting off on that red buff, and Haru doing the same thing for the moment. Pero this time, no, yung key difference.
He missed!
Knock does not connect. Cool,
Cool
1
is
HP
gonna
left by
fall.
Flash, but will not survive. Out, 1 HP too. Ignite is ticking, but Kome does not have enough damage. Flash forward for the stun, and Kome will
Yes, Q.
go down as well. 2 for nothing. FIT again, a great start.
Gets the door in his face, and ATC takes another early game advantage against Howl.
exactly. Exactly the way we started in that last game. And minamention ko kanina yung proactivity na pwedeng mangyari dito for Haru that he was not able to provide earlier. But seeing as how the early game has panned out here for Cool and Kome, I'm not sure how that prospect is looking like anymore. I mean, sure, they could still do that, but on the damage department, I don't know if they're still going to be able to keep up here on the top side matchup, which is why Haru going towards the bottom lane instead. They discover again Shadow, so unable to pick anything up still here, Dash.
Yeah, remember, this is the power of Fragile right now. Yes, they don't have a lot of damage onto the bottom side of the map, yes, but Fragile, especially with the Winter's Bite, is really crazy. Right now, onto the top side, Cool gonna be the target again. Always gonna be pulled back, but Enma doesn't have any Dragon's Rage, so Cool is just gonna be safe taking that Honey Fruit.
Yeah. For the moment, it's just, ano lang, gentleman's agreement muna mula sa junglers natin. No? Medyo naudot yung first gank ni Haru over towards the bottom side of the map because of the good rotates from Fragile here, and both teams just playing with a lot of patience. And we're getting what we expected here, Dash, which is a slow, drawn-out game until tignan mo yung rotate na nangyayari towards the bottom side. They revealed themselves. So
yeah.
Shino is gonna be ready for that gank. Besides, meron na siyang Killer Instinct and the Flash and the Exhaust as well. So a lot of tunes para dito kay Shino just to survive the lane.
Yeah. And from what we're seeing right now for ATEC, after that win, they haven't snowballed their lead. They just wanted to play it safe now. Meron na tayong lead. Okay na mag-play around na lang tayo all over the
Makes
map.
sense.
And with what we're seeing right now for Valiant Esports, what they need to do after this rotation at level 5 is just let both of these ADCs just get the damage that they need, get the items. Mamaya pa natin makikita si Shino na mag-pop up. That is the reason why Kaisa has it hard. Maybe after the second objective, that is when Shino would pop off.
Yeah, perhaps when we go to the first big team fight talaga dito, no? And actually, look at the long rotate here from Shino. Naglakad all the way down towards the top side of the map. Double knock connects here.
Turn around!
Oh, Darkened Blade is active. Glacial Fissure does not connect onto anyone. Pero andito na si Shino, the hero of that team. And the 2 kills over towards the side of HAU. Walang naisagot yung FIT.
Great rotations from How. They got the kills already and they gave it also to Shino. Very, very big win there onto the top side of the map. And the way they set that up, it wasn't expected by ATC, but right now I think it's going to be it. No, they're going to go in. Enma going to be going out, flashing away a lot of damage from How.
A little bit of a risky play there from FIT. They had to exhaust the flash from Enma. So that's one of the tools na pwede nilang gamitin to shut down Shino in that next fight. Nawala na. And you were talking about how was able to set up that top lane fight because it took them so long to set it up. Shino naglakad all the way towards the top side. Kasama niya si Kome. And FIT, they weren't expecting that. Sino ba naman nag-expect na nag-roam na Kaisa?
Yeah, Kaisa was in the middle lane and nakita nga natin kanina wala silang vision on that top side of the map and they tried to fight against them. And right now, 20 seconds on the clock, we do have the objectives coming up. So ito yung chance na ma-prove nila itong advantage na to ay malaking-malaki for them. They have the items already. Looking at it, Cole and Haru have big advantages here. So this is item breakpoints, especially for this chase.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that Echo completed para dito kay Yabs, but he's a Morgana. He's not going to be providing a lot of that damage at this point anyway. Pero Enma going to be first here on the Rift Herald side. HAU, they are not going to want to contest your Rift Herald. Instead, going for the Drake instead is a curious choice here, but at least they will be trading objectives for the moment. Pero medyo scattered dito. Yung FIT, no, natatagalan sila mag-secure dito ng Rift Herald.
Yeah. Right now, Rift Herald is going to be taken, and they're just going to be having, as you said, a gentleman's agreement on both sides. Not going to be taking it. And nakita rin naman natin dito, onto the top side, they just want to take the tower down. Cool doesn't have the space that he needs, but looking at the mid lane, though, they are just going to be going there, trying to take down the tower as fast as they could. Cool just going to be getting the third stack of the Darkened Blade and force him out of the way. Rift Herald has been taken down.
Yeah, a lot of damage towards that tower, pero hindi pa naman nalaglag yung top lane tier 1 for HAU here, and it is the slow burn, but wala pang nag-emerge na ahead for the moment. A 1,000 gold lead, barely of any substance at this point, but of course FIT, they're gonna want to be that proactive team for this moment. At this point, feeling ko, nihintay lang din ang lumabas ulit yung flash ni Enma, no? Or perhaps makakuha sila ng a little bit of room para makapag-roam dito si Ao. Maybe pag na-destroy nila yung top tier 1. Pero look at what is this itemization from Sheena dito? No, a lot of items completed.
Oh,
over
upside.
bot side, but on the
Nice
top
flash.
side, double knockup from Cool. The Darkened Blade doing its bidding. But here comes
Oh,
Enma
no.
looking for the
The turn.
execute. But
Oh,
the turn.
Cool.
Okay, the Sonic Web gonna be there for the end of the life of Cool there. But Haru looking for the punish onto Fragile as well. But for the moment, it's just gonna be a 1-for-1 for both squads.
Damage of Haru early in the game. That's why they got that 1-for-1 trade. Cool almost survived though. So right now, it's gonna be a challenge for FIT. When are they gonna be fighting right now? Haru is a big threat, and they need to respect this until they get their second item breakpoints at the side of ATEC. But now out. Okay, not gonna go in.
Yeah, Nivlek has not had any time in the spotlight this game yet. No, wala pa tayo nakikitang big fight kasi. And I think Nivlek is overshadowed by his teammates from time to time, but he does perform here into the backline kapag hindi natin napapansin, no? And on this Vex, I think he will have the spotlight moments of this game the moment that we get to that point. We've been putting a lot of spotlight on Shino, but Nivlek has been doing a fantastic job of keeping the lanes even here.
Oh,
despite the
that
matchup.
charge!
Go, that charge does not connect, but the double ult does. And the man I've been talking about himself, Nivlek, is not
he's
going to be
down.
able to survive. The fear does not work towards his favor. Haru, the damage is not there. Cyclone for the double knockup. Here comes the triple knockup with the Glacial Fisher and Kome in a little bit of trouble. Last stack na lang basta na siya, but they will be surviving. Nivlek got shut down.
Yeah, top side. We're gonna be seeing a lot of damage from Yato if ever he takes this down. Oh no, no more towers though on the top side. They might be able to take down Cool. They still have a lot of dashes onto the advance. He didn't even need to use the flash right here.
Oh!
Timing's just right. He still has the last stack of Darkened Blade, and that's why he survived. But the tower on top side is down.
That's exactly what I've been pointing earlier. No, because the topside tower is down, Ao has the avenue to rotate towards other parts of the map. For the moment, no, nagpalit lang sila ng positions ni Yato, which is the standard thing to do anyway when one of these turrets do go down. Pero what that means is there might be some opportunities here, some more opportunities here for FIT to look for engagement. We talked about how these engagements are going to go, and one of the key members to watch out for here by HAU is Ao on ATEC's side. They have to not forget na may Wukong in this game, and that Cyclone has been so consistent ever since the last game then.
Yeah, it's basically the next explosive cast we have from
Yeah,
last game, right?
true.
That's why every time na tinatry nila mag-engage on the side of How, and they will engage kasi with their composition, there's a lot of short-range champions, and that's why lalapit talaga sila dun sa Cyclone every time it happens. But with ATEC, what they need to do is try to make this game fast. They don't have a late game champion.
Exactly. Have to look for fights as soon as possible, but by the looks of it, mukhang nagsasucceed dito ang HAU in deterring everything that ATEC is attempting at fights for the moment. Right now, Yato in a bit of trouble. Hindi tumama yung second skill doon ni Shino, so Yato will be surviving for now, but for how long can he just keep surviving? They have to look for a fight.
Yeah, taking time though. Yato survived for a bit though, but they need to make sure that they would be able to take down the members right here of How. They're trying to set up the Rift Herald, but right now, Haru with the Shock Blast is just so crazy that he zones out a lot of his members.
Exactly. That's why How has been buying
lane,
so much space here for Shino to just farm up and to even contest this Rift Herald. Ito na yung Shock Blast, nakatama ng isa. Rift Herald down to around 2,000 HP. Pero uy, hindi na steal ng How, but into the backline. Nivlex with the backline play. And now one by one, Val has got nowhere to put down all this damage. FIT down 4 and no trade coming in. Flash forward from Haru. Yato, killer instinct forward and into Natsushino. The rampage from Haru. It's the ace and no trade from FIT.
No trade. Great setup from ATEC, or rather from Valiant Esports right there onto that fight. They didn't expect it to happen. ATEC focused too much on the Rift Herald, and that's why How had the chance. Remember, right now is when Haru is so strong, didn't respect the Shock Blast, didn't respect the to the skies, and that's why everybody was on the sky. They're all in heaven. They all fell down.
Yeah, and I love the positioning there from HAU. They do exactly the limits of the presence maps of their champions there. Kahit sabihin natin scattered yung position nila at first glance, sila pa rin yung nakapag-turn around ng fight na yun because of how well Nivlek was able to use the presence of the Vex. Beautiful stuff all across the board here, and Shino is starting to get to the point na mas mataas na yung damage niya dito na outputs, and that's mostly because of Haru's success here in the jungle. 4-0 and 4, almost a 100% kill participation para sa Jace.
This is what I'm really afraid of whenever there's a Jace jungle kasi early game damage until the mid game damage, lalong-lalo na may Cyril's Grudge, Black Cleaver na tayo, it's gonna be pretty scary for them. So right now, they're starting to fight out on the bot lane. Death Charge has been used to the Dredge Light. Tumama na nga, ang dami CC with the Fear Glacial Fish is gonna be there just to stop them left from getting the kill. Yato's gonna flash away, gonna be surviving. Chino's gonna go in. I think that's too aggressive. No, they fell down, and ATEC, this is a chance for them to fight back. And Valiant Esports lost 2 members with the shot blast. What the damage from Haru. He's still not stopping. He's a madman. The shot blast almost hit. And that, they survived 2 for 1 right now. But Enma, that's going to be crazy. I think they need to back away from this. Enma's not going to be reached by Cool, but still, fight style.
Nagka-mini-heart attack ako doon kasi akala ko malalaglag pa si Yato. But what was that flash from Shino? A little bit of a questionable call there from the ADC, getting a little bit ahead of himself. Those tiny mistakes have got to be avoided here by HAU. They've been so far ahead this entire game, and they have to not lose composure now.
Yeah, they haven't lost anything just yet. And how? Just need to take the tower onto the mid lane. And we have seen this right now. They're starting to fight right now. Ao is going to be going for the Cyclone. Not enough damage to get them the kill. And now this Ao's going to fall down. So this is a chance for them to go in. Cool is just surviving for so long just because of that ult. And almost all of them are here. This is not a fight that ATEC wants to go for.
Exactly. But they're still looking for an engagement though. The positioning, the flanking position here from Enma, signaling that they do want to contest this mid turret. But now they're giving it away with Ao being down. That's the lump sum, or rather a big percentage of their
what is that?
CC. But look at this. The snake will not connect. Yaps though down to 1 HP. The siege is ongoing. That's going to be the Dragon's Rage just to buy a little bit of space. But how? They've already taken down 2 turrets.
Baron can be taken if ever you want to though. They got 2 turrets into the mid lane. They have the space that they need. No vision from the size of ATEC. With the champions that they have, they can take the Baron anytime they want.
Exactly. It's at that point where the damage is just so staggeringly high here for Shino, and he's yet to recall for that 3rd item pick up. Okay, yun na nga, he's looking for, I believe that's the Nashor's Tooth, yung 3rd item na kukumpletuhin niya dito, no? And when he gets that, we can safely say na How has overtaken FIT in terms of damage at this point. Pero, speaking of which, at this point, do you think it's still a good idea for FIT to look for fights now?
Yeah, I think right now ATEC just needs to be reactive with this fight because How has been taking over. They have been very proactive whenever it comes down to these fights, and that's why ATEC, with their composition, yes, pwede sila maging aggressive, pero it was built to be reactive. But they haven't gotten that win condition time and time again. This is what I've said a while ago. That is the reason why I'm surprised about that Wukong pick. Yes, the Cyclone is good, but the problem there is there's nobody who could really herald them whenever it comes to this big fights. Because yes, there's the Cyclone, but after that, what are they gonna do?
Exactly. Not much at all. It feels a little bit... and it shows as well on the screen right now, right?
Yeah.
Ao has been struggling so much to find those avenues because it's very hard when you're given that... those very little tools to do what you need to do, and how they've stretched the game long enough to a point where it's questionable enough for FIT if they want to go for these fights. If not, because Enma hasn't been able to find much out of this Lee Sin in the early game, and that really means that Haru is so far ahead. Here we go, those Cyclone popped for Ao, buying him a little bit of time, but again, that's another ult you'll use defensively here for TC.
Yeah, defensively, but hey, 4v2 on the bot side. Oh, Dragon's Rage to push him back, but they haven't gotten the kill just yet. Haru's just gonna fall there, and this is gonna be good. Look at the timing though. Haru's surviving. Everybody's falling down inside of ATEC, but top lane is just gonna be taken down if ever they want to. They got the kill onto 2 people, but mid lane turret is gonna fall. Inhibitor turret is down, and that is just a misstep right here from the side of ATEC.
HAU with the bait and switch. Nakatama pa ng second skill done si Shino, and they take the first inhibitor turret in this game. They crack the base of FIT wide open, and the gold lead dash, it's just 3,000, but it does not reflect the state of the game. HAU damage-wise, they're so far ahead.
Yeah, they are definitely so far ahead. They have 5 towers down. They have the space right here. So this is going to be a problem here for the side right here of ATEC. What they need to do right now is to find a way to win one fight or just take down one. There's a lot of threats on the side of Valiant Esports because remember, we have Haru, we have Shino, but right now they're taking the Ocean Drake. They're taking a lot of time. Teleport's going to be coming in. They have the ultimates of Furious there. Dragon's Rage to push Komi back. So this is a chance to get onto the back line though. But Al right here wants to get the kill onto the Black Flash. Oh my gosh! They're going to be taking him down. But look at Shino. Shino is still surviving. He has a lot of HP. So there's going to be a problem right here for ATEC. Yes, he has to survive. Clear Instinct going to be used. Great timing for the Castian Raid. Yato's going to be the next target right now. And this is now down to the count for the side of ATEC, because Yano is not going to be surviving this unless these two people is going to be fighting him right now. They don't have a lot of dashes though. They have the knock-up. Yano is going to fall, and that's going to be the Ocean Drake for free. But looking at Enma, he can go for this if ever they want to, Dayton.
He's got no ult though. Barely enough time to get it ramped up. 1,000. It's
no
not gonna
vision.
be there. No vision. No steal for you this time. But what a call that was from ID. I did like the call, but they know, because they know that their time is starting to run out. But the question still remains: do they have the time, or has the time bomb popped here for HAU? I mean, I'm one of the optimistic people who say, don't count your eggs until the lady sings. But when you have a Kaisa sitting at 3.5 items. That's where I draw the line here, Dash.
Yeah, I think so too. Kaisa really, really strong. We've said it time and time again. Whenever you give Shino this ADCs, especially the Kaisa or the Vayne, he's just gonna find ways to get gold somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's why right now he's already 3 items in 4-1 record. And this might be the biggest threat right now for ATEC, especially that they're in the late game.
Yeah, and I gotta respect just how disciplined Shino was in that last team fight. Definitely showing us that he's corrected the same mistake that he did earlier.
at
And
that.
look at how fast this Baron is going down. Can they even go for the steal here? Malapit din si Enba, nakatama ng Sonic
It
Wave,
won't be.
3,000 HP.
No vision.
Yeah, so much canceling potential heal as well. So that's an easy Baron take here for HAU.
Yeah, Fragile gonna be next. Shadow Search is gonna be hitting. Terrified right there with the Dredge Line coming in, but they're not gonna be following up with a fight right there. Out, good timing from the Cyclone. Nobody's gonna fall, but remember they have the Baron already.
Yeah, they can siege here. In the middle side is cracked wide open, so they could split up the map right now. The silver lining for FIT is the minions are far away from the base, but that's just a consolation prize at this point. Pampalubag loob lang yan at this point from FIT, because HAU Dash, they're starting to march down at all fronts here. FIT, this is their last chance to find something.
We live for another day. 5 right here, 5k gold lead we're seeing right now for the side of Valiant Esports. 18 minutes on the clock. That's really big. Right now, the only chances of ATEC winning is if they win one fight. That's one fight is the only thing that they would need here. But how will they get there? Because remember, a lot of item breakpoints have been reached already, and they haven't, and some of them haven't even reached the 4th item here on the side of ATEC. They need to reach that, and maybe they would have a chance there. Remember, bot lane, they're gonna go in.
HAU, they don't need to go in at all. FIT, they're the ones who are at a pressured spot to start the fight, but Enma can't look for opportunities, because look at how many canceling tools there are at for HAU top side in a 1v1, but Ao just does not have enough damage at all. Darken Blade connects, second pop as well. And now the bottom side, okay, ult connects for the stasis pop here for Yabs. He's got nowhere to go. He goes down, and look at Haru terrorizing the ranks of FIT. How they have a statement to make. They are still the Emperors, and they even up the scoreline here at ALG.
They lost the game, ATEC, with that trap from Valiant Esports. That is what I'm expecting from them, taking the ADC route for their ADC, I mean, for Shino at least. Yes, with the ADC on Shino, with the Kaisa, that is when they popped off. And even Haru, I wasn't expecting them to get the Jace on the jungle there. And the Jace against Enma with the Lee Sin is just night and day difference on their side.
Yeah. Haru's performance was just undeniably
crazy
good in this game. So far ahead, and it was kind of like the same idea, right? With the Lee Sin and the Jace, you have to find that early game presence, but it was just Haru that succeeded so much better in that regard.
They needed someone to be the early game presence that they will have in the composition, and that is what Haru was. And yes, he wasn't he still had a lot of jobs that he needed to do on the early, or rather during the late game, and we've seen him time and time again winning those fights. And that's what I like about this people though. They know when to time their champions, and the drafting there was perfect for Valiant Esports. With what we've seen from ATEC, they were very reactive with their draft. They tried to counter a lot. They went in for the Lucian Braum combo, which right now in the meta doesn't really fit that well. So that's why great timing right there, a great draft from the side of Valiant Esports.
Yeah, absolutely true. And it sort of feels like ATEC are playing Valiant's comp. Right, they're playing against their comp with the same sort of idea. Yeah. But you can see just how well it just has mastered their own craft, and ATEC cannot hold a candle about the performance. I'm not gonna mince words anymore. But that's just game number 2, folks. If you're rooting for either side, chat nyo lang sa ating chat
Hashtag.
sections or sa kung saan man kayo nanonood, sa comment section, kung sa Facebook, sa chat, kapag sa Twitch. And chat nyo lang kung sino yung sinusupport yung team kasi it's 1-1 right now. A fitting start to our grand finals dito, Dash. And we laid out our predictions earlier. And I have to ask you again, we already have the predictions, but do you still believe in your predictions?
We still have one. I mean, 1-1 pa rin naman. So I think it's almost the same here for FIT versus how
So
we've seen
3-1 pa rin.
Yeah. I'm still believing the copium for me on FIT. But I think everybody knows that how has been the strongest team that we had right here on OG, especially on Wild Rift. They have been the greatest team that we've had. They have been winning time and time again. But FIT are the challengers. They need to prove themselves right now. Split 1 they lost, but split 2, let's see what's gonna happen.
Let's see. Oh, hindi mo tinatanong pero ako same pa rin yung paniniwala
I
ko.
think so.
Actually,
Kaya hindi na kita tinatanong.
I want to dial back no. You double dipped with the 3-1. Oh, gusto ko na rin mag 3-1 pero baliktad.
3-1 sa how? Nangyari na to na split 1.
Yeah.
Yung
Exactly.
Split 1, 1-0.
Pero
Panalo yung FIT. Then 3-1 kasi nanalo yung how. So, would they repeat history right here?
I mean, we've been repeating history time and time again between these two teams. Right?
Yeah,
And
that's
sino ba ang nananalo? It's
how.
HAU consistency.
That's true.
So that's hence my prediction, guys. Pero kung sinusupport nyo dito, how or ATEC, chat nyo lang kung sinusupport nyo because the players do love your support.
What do you think about the draft kanina? No? Kasi we have seen the draft a while ago about on the side of FIT. I wasn't really confident a lot on the draft just because of the fact na Wukong didn't work in game 1.
Yeah.
I can see that na game 1, maybe they thought na Wukong worked just because they won, but I think that's the weakest link of their draft kanina during game 1, and they doubled down on it in game 2.
I think that's a little bit arguable depending on which perspective you take. But I do not necessarily think that Wukong was a problem. Yes, he wasn't as effective as it could be in the first game, but it wasn't anything as lackluster, I want to say, as the bottom side here, I want to say, of FIT. They have to play their own comp, put their own players at the most comfortable position instead of trying to be reactive to HAU, right? Because that's the thing about HAU, right? They are individually very powerful players, and then when you group them up together, you get an even greater team. That's why they're the emperors right now of all GM. Wild Rift, hindi sila natatalo ever since the start of all G. I mean, the only game that they have lost is with FIT right now, and we have already seen a repeat of that in this
split 1.
in this split, in this series.
Yeah.
And that's with their own comp, not reactive comp.
Yeah, I think so. I think with the FIT, I think what they need to do here with their composition, kasi sinabi ko nga kanina, I think they need a lot more of parang it's the same thing with what happened for How during game 1. Medyo kalat yung draft nila during game 1. And game 2, parang naging ganun yung drafting ng FIT. I think they could really change that up, and that could potentially be the reason why they could win here. If ever, I'm surprised. We have seen on WCAO Rivens getting picked every time, but we haven't seen it here.
The most prioritized hero, champion actually. So buong WCAO.
Even the Ziggs, we are not seeing any
Exactly. Well, partly because this is how we're talking about, and FIT. So if any of these teams are going to bring it out, it's probably the Ziggs I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be FIT, and I cannot see how that is a bad idea dito, no?
Right.
Just become passive-aggressive. Yung place lang talaga ng Ziggs. And yung combo na nakikita natin madalas natin sa WCAO was I believe the Camille into a Galio into a Ziggs triple threat. No, this series hindi natin nakikita yon. Mukhang both teams really are banking towards their own nakasanayan na
their own meta
na style. Exactly. And that's what I absolutely respect here from both sides. But I have to say, kailangan mag-double time dito ng TEC.
I think so. Kasi right now, we're getting into our draft, and I think we're going to be having the same fans. What do you think?
I want to see a change of Garen. Sana hindi na maban.
I think ATEC doesn't need to ban the Garen.
Exactly.
Kasi they have been banning the Garen time and time again. Yes, pwede kunin ni Cool. Pero next time, if nag-switch up sila, I think if ever Game 4, I think that is the chance for them to take the Garen for themselves.
Perhaps. If hindi na ibaban ng TEC here. But it seems like we're gonna be following the same trend. Kung Gwento, it's probably gonna be just the same band Karma as well. I think unless mag-respect ban sila dito against that Kaisa or that
Or the
Vayne.
Jace though.
Or the Jace
They
as
can
well.
go for the Jace ban here. If ever kukunin nila yung card, or if ever na yun na nga yung Jace, may pwede silang kumuha ng Gwen onto the side of Valiant Esports, so that's gonna be a big chance unless ATEC wants to take the risk here. So yes, if ever
Gwen.
na mag-Aatrox ulit ng Valiant
Gwen yung
Esports,
sagot.
si Gwen yung sagot ng ATEC.
Exactly. Let's see what the priority here is going to be.
Lucian, yeah.
naman
That's
para
good.
sa Valiant Esports.
Yeah. The answer is gonna be probably a Gwen or a Gwen and Renekton. Kasi kanina pa, every time na second pick tayo, nakikita natin yung Renekton getting banned. But all taking the Aatrox.
Nakalak na ba? Nakalak na!
Oh, nalak na!
Okay, ayaw nilang ibigay dito yung Aatrox. So,
Bawal na daw.
ano yung choice dito ng HAU towards the top side? I mean, of course, there still are a lot.
There's the
Renekton.
Fiora, no?
Yeah, Fiora is up. Renekton, pwede nilang gamitin. Camille is still up as well for that combo na hinahanap natin, o Camille Galio, if either of these teams want to fancy a gander at that type of comp. Pero seeing as how has already picked up the Kazakhs.
I'm so sorry.
I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, kita nyo naman, na-surprised kami ni Dash. Lalo na si Dash kasi...
No. Kasi I was taking a look at the draft if this was good. Kasi I could argue na pwede naman tong Kazakhs, pero sa second rotation ng picks natin.
True.
Kasi if ever sa second rotation ng picks natin,
Hindi
then you
naman
pick a
ibaban.
Kazakhs against the Gwen, hindi naman nila ibaban yun. I
Oh.
think it's a great priority that you just go for the Gwen and just the Aatrox right here. Pero they can pick something else na priority dito sa side ng Valiant Esports.
Gotta say, I'm not liking this Kazakhs pick here, Dash. With the same argument that you've been saying earlier dito, no? Because number one, it didn't work earlier when they pulled out the Kazakhs, and number two, it's really hard to draft around a Kazakhs, right? I mean, the amount of limitations that will be set to your playstyle just by simply having the presence of a Kazakhs in your comp is very limiting, in my opinion. But let's see. Well, Esports, they're a team that defines their own meta nga naman, diba? This is their characteristic. So I do not want to discount them yet. Alam kong they have this in mind.
Yeah, one of the things that I would really like for Valiant Esports though is they needed to prioritize the Gragas sana kanina.
True.
Take the Gragas
True.
first kasi pwede pang kunin ng side ng ATEC yun para walang mag-counter dun sa Gwen. Yun yung best thing na meron sila. Yes, there's the mist from the Gwen, pero yung teammates niya maiiwan. And si Gwen yung magiging target nila. Nakita natin yung time and time again sa side ng Valiant Esports yung si Komay gumagawa ng play. So yun yung thing na kailangan nila kunin dito. Kailangan nila kunin yung Gragas on their side. Yes, there is the Kazakhs already. They can take the Gwen. Or rather the Gragas.
Yeah. And they used it very effectively despite the scattered comp from how in that
They
first,
almost won during
exactly,
game
that first
one.
game.
Yeah.
So imagine that in a draft specifically drafted around that Gragas, so it could work out fantastically here para sa HAU. But you did mention some form of probable experimentation dito. Maybe they're trying things out na hindi. But I like that idea in one part, and that is that probably didn't expect a Mayhem in this best of 5. So that could be what they're playing on in this series. However, it's just 1-1. So medyo maaga pa in the series. Pero unti-unti nang nawawala yung room between our players.
Yeah, I really believe that A-Tech does have a really big chance with the draft that they already have been building. 2 picks pa lang, I think it's great. But onto the other side, kailangan nila ayusin yung next parts of this draft for the side of Valiant Esports. Kasi with the Lucian, yes, I love the Lucian. The Kazakhs, they need to find something else here. Kasi the Kazakhs just tells you a lot of information. You know that this Kazakhs is gonna go to the jungle for sure.
Yeah.
But here, on the other side naman, sa side of Valiant Esports, what they need to have is, yes, as I said a while ago, the Gragas, they need to pick it up.
Let's see if that is going to be the priority here. Holy Angel, they have a tendency to pick whatever they like.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, we could see the Gragas here, but we could see something else entirely at all. And be like, they could go for, if they want to go the safer route, maybe they can go for a Corki na naman para dito kay Andy Lek, just to double down on what they did earlier. I mean, for the most part, the Corki wasn't bad choice earlier. Pero tingnan natin.
I think it's very situational to have a Kazakhs in your composition though.
Oy.
But hey, okay. If
Okay.
it's not the Kazakhs, could have been better. Expected na magpa-Fiora si Cool. Si Cool yung makikilala mong tao na if ever maban yung something na pinipick niya for the meta right now, he's gonna be picking the Fiora.
Yeah.
And the Fiora against the Aatrox,
Aatrox, it works.
it works. We have seen it Worlds. Yeah, I've seen it. Yes, it failed, but here it's a different game. It's a different game.
Dash, stop jinxing all the Aatrox counter picks. Come on, come on. Stop.
I mean, if
stop trying to pull an
it didn't
SKT
work a
on
while
me.
ago, right? Yeah, I mean, with this though, I think it's
That's
good.
not how A-Tech is going to win. No.
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, Gragas could be banned here for the side of A-Tech.
Pwede. There is a lot of engage possibilities here on the side with the Rakan getting secured here by A-Tech. So a Gragas ban would make a lot of sense. But they put in priority towards that Nautilus instead. Corki gonna get banned away. So sa nakikita ko nga naman right now, no, wala pang dedicated or wala pang engager over the side of Valiant Esports. No, sa Galio getting banned away. Gragas left open.
Okay, si Galio yung ayaw nila makita and tinanggalin nila ng option itong si Yabs na mag-go for probably a Ziggs. Kasi yun na lang yung choices nila, Corki or Ziggs, just for them to have the combo right there on their Rakan, which is very great. But sinabi mo nga kanina, maybe the reason why they're going for it is baka gusto nila mag-lane, mag-mid Gragas sa side ng ATEC, but no, they went for the Morgana. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting here. Oh no, they didn't go Morgana. Dash.
Wait, what?
Okay. Samir, I see you. ATC.
2-1 Valiant Esports,
Okay.
I think.
No, Dash. You can't change prediction like that. Tingnan natin muna. Samira. Okay, let's take a look at the benefits of having a Samira and the Rakan combo, right? I mean, team fights. You got a lot of damage on your side. And
Sure.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm seeing here is the reason why they picked the Samira is because may Lucian tayo. They want to couple the damage na meron sila on the bot lane para magkaroon din sila ng extra damage and hindi losing lane naman si Samira, which is good. But the thinking on this, yes, they have the combo from the grand entrance, but that needs setup. And yun yung pinoproblema ko whenever a Samira gets picked. And that's the reason why we're not seeing Samira in competitive kasi it's hard to reach that yung S
Exactly.
for Samira.
It's extremely hard to execute.
Renekton pa.
Not
Oh
to
my
mention the fact na ang hirap i-set up na isang Samira. No, Renekton getting secured here, so
That's a good draft. Oh
I know.
my.
Yeah, they're done. If they were experimenting in the first place,
Oh my.
this is not it anymore. They're not
That's a good
experimenting anymore. However, TEC, I mean, I could see this working. They have a lot of damage. They have a good amount of CC on that Rakan. And the action from Yato did work out pretty well in that last game. It was a headache. But at this point, I think ATEC, they just are picking up the pieces. Right now, they are making it as good as it could get on paper. But do you think... I don't know. What do you think is the plan here for TEC Dash?
They're not building a Lego house when they're picking up the pieces, though. They're probably building a card, like the cards, right? The card tower.
deck of cards
Yeah,
na-
the deck of cards tower. I think that's what they're going. One tap, they're gonna fall.
Pero alam mo, Dash,
Mm.
isa ako sa mga type of players, lalo na sa League, sa Wild Rift, sa Valorant. I thrive on doubt. And yung pag doubt, your doubts right now on TEC's draft, no, mark my words, baka yan yung maging rason nila for winning this game in particular.
I hope it is, because right now, looking at the draft of Valiant Esports, I'm confident that this is a great draft. Because looking at the
I
draft
didn't
already.
say it wasn't.
Because looking at the draft already, look at that though. They have a lot of things going for them. They can go for, just go for anything that they want. They can go for
Lot of
clashes.
options.
They can go for pickups. They can go for solo laning right here for Cool and even for Sheen. Or even if Haru is going to be taking the Fiora for himself, it could be a great chance. But right now, our head-to-head, Haru versus Fragile. Oh,
Yeah. Haru, fantastic showing in that last game though on
definitely.
the Jace. So
was
gonna
so
have
strong.
to perform again, this time as the featured matchup against Fragile, unless Fragile pops off.
Yeah. And one of the things that I really like right here is for Fragile to be popping off with the support picks that we have right now. But from what we're seeing, really, the confidence right here comes from the fact that Valiant Esports with their composition, it works really well on this side, or especially it really resonates well with the meta.
Yeah, absolutely true. Can you say the same for TEC's draft?
TEC's draft, I'm not really sure just yet, because honestly, I'm really afraid of the Samira pick here. Yes, there's Ao, there's Enma, but with the Samira pick and the Akshan pick, those are very big question marks for me. The other parts of the draft, it's great.
Yeah.
But the two ADCs, the two marksmen, not sure.
I mean, if they do pull off the setup that we've been talking about, that's pretty hard to execute. I mean, these are very talented players from FIT, so they can definitely pull this off if they are willing.
Oh no,
this
is not a good fight.
But the stun connects, and the skip snip is not
They
gonna be.
thrive on doubt.
Exactly. Exactly what I'm telling you, Dash. Do not ever jinx anything you're casting, because that's our curse.
Oh man, they thrive on doubt,
Our
and
curse.
I'm really surprised about this though.
Yeah.
Haru going for the Renekton jungle.
Yes, I know. Featured matchup, baby. Haru looking to make a double highlight game here after that Chase performance. Pero, ATC.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Renekton jungle and why. Yes, there's a bit of the damage from monsters coming in from Haru since the latest match that we had recently. But the problem here is early in the game, we don't have a lot of cooldown. But right now, the cooldowns in the mid lane, the Grand Entrance is there already. The fear happens.
Oi!
Flash has been used by Kome. And that is a burn we've seen in the mid lane.
Yeah, Komi gonna be in a very vulnerable position.
Top lane.
From here on out. Top lane, ow. Roam happening here from Haru, and you were talking
doesn't
about
have
the
flash.
cooldowns. But oh no! Dash, slice and dice. Not gonna be enough to go through that wall. Wala kami nakita Haru. We didn't see
Yeah,
anything.
no slice, just a bit of dicing right there for Haru,
you
but
talking
we haven't seen we haven't seen them this confident right here for ATEC. We have seen them get the vision a while ago, and they tried to go for their jungle, and that could have been great if it worked. But because it didn't work, right now it could be a great chance for the side of ATEC to just make use of it, make use of that loss of tempo for Haru, and would be a chance for ATEC to get onto this game. Remember, they have 2 marksmen. Great to get to the late game.
I mean, if you think about it, last game, it was dragged the HAU, right? Because of their comp, because of the Kaisa. Now that they have 2 ADCs, are they going to be able to drag out the game the same way HAU did in that last game? Maybe that's their playstyle right now, but the Darkened Blade, all 3 knockups connect onto Komi. Here comes Yams dashing in, D on the raiding, but the exhaust comes and the ignite to pop that Samira before it can deal any damage. Here comes the culling, and here comes the rotate from Yato. Shino forced to flash a little bit early there, but will not be punished for now, so that is a kill over towards the side of Shino. Yap's going down.
Aggression, we've seen Yato rotating onto the bot lane. That is when this comp works well. They needed to make use of the aggression that Akshan could give you in the early game. As long as everybody doesn't have any items yet, the heroic swing's gonna be good. Right there on the heroic swing onto the bot lane. Shino falls, and another kill onto the bot lane.
Great punish over there for Shino. They knew that Shino did not have any summoner in that engagement because he had to commit it just to survive. But now, Haru's looking for something else. But
Slice and dice? What?
it's this is one of the things that I generally do not favor when you have a Renekton jungle. It doesn't have a lot of ganking potential.
Okay, bot lane, look at that. Everybody's already there. They're gonna be trying to go and gank right here onto the bottom side. We have seen them slice and dice already. Haru has the dominance. That's why he's very aggressive. He knew that he can win that fight. Komi can go for a flash here, but he doesn't have any, so this is still ATEC backing away safe.
It's HAU now getting forced to play reactively here by FIT. They thrive on doubt, Eugene. And now they're going for the
Grand Entrance
for
3!
What? And Fragile, unfortunately, will not be able to call upon the backup. FIT, they invested so much. They got nothing.
I thought it could have been it. They had the Grand Entrance. They used the flash onto Fragile too, but they didn't get anything out of that. That is
Not enough damage.
not a win for the side right here of ATEC. They lost that Grand Entrance, or rather the flash, on the most great timing because we were going to be having the objectives already.
Dash, look. Let me show you the power of the doubts. Look at the gold graphs. Look at the gold. Who are the 2 players that's got the most gold in the entire game right now?
Yato? No.
Oh,
Yato
it's
and
changed.
Shino.
Okay. But I was looking at Yato because he's picked up the Storm Razor. So he's already got the most items. The doubt. Yato can feel it.
Nah. We're seeing right here onto the top side. Ao has the miss, doesn't have any flashes to use. He can get falling down here. Oh, doesn't even need to use the Ruthless Predator. 1 kill on their side. Timing is just right for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, 8 seconds left, and it's gonna be
Timing.
actually a lot of presence here. Grand Enter
Top
for
side.
Fragile. Let's look at the top side
Haru is gonna
here,
fall.
and Haru is still alive and kicking, but here comes the bottom side fear. Nivlek forcing Yato to flash away.
Yato.
The damage is just so much,
Wow.
but it is not enough. Top side though, the healing comes in from the Grand Duo, and Cole is trying to stay alive.
Oh,
Charm
there's the
connects,
quickness.
and the Fragile will be executing
Boom.
unless. Okay. Fragile on the board twice.
From downtown, we can see Fragile taking the kill right there. Just one shot and onto the mid side. We're seeing them go for the fight. Littlework is just dealing a lot of damage. Shino can't even push back ATEC. Rip Herald is going to be taken.
Down by ATEC without any contest. Off the back of that beautiful engagement on the top side here. Dash 21,000, and it's going to balloon even further here for the gold for ATEC. This is the time where FIT are going to claim that speed. Can they actually go for the contest here? Yato has got the swing.
I think Yato should not fight this. Would have a chance though, but I think that's not going to be it. They can go for the referral onto the top side, take down the tower, try to take down Cool, but they just played it safe, try to take down some resources out of Valiant Esports, and ATEC right now has a 3K gold lead.
Oh, they're going to look for a dive here on the bottom side as well, and Bilek's got to be careful where he stands. Flash is available, perfect time.
Shadow Surge.
Can he go for the return?
Has safe spaces though.
Yeah,
but,
won't be going for it. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they're going to go in right there for Kelps, but because they force Kelps to back away. What's great here, though, is that they can take down the tower right now. But mid lane, though, looking at the aggression coming in from Valiant Esports, they want this plates, they want some gold, they want everything that they can take, because even their jungle is being taken by ATC.
But again, Dash, even though FIT has been the proactive team in this game, look at the turrets. HAU are still asserting their map control, despite the fact that there is no top lane turret anymore. Cool still looking for a fight, but he might get punished here. Here comes the duel, and Cool forced to flash early, but ow, and the Dark flash forward with the Darkened Blade. Can he survive this? Enma will connect.
Cool is
and
dead.
There you go.
Oh, could have been it. Could have been. Might have survived there, but too aggressive for Cool to go there without any towers onto the top side. That's why ATEC just went in for the punish there, and we're seeing it right now. Ow with the Gwen. Big threat to the whole game.
Let's talk about Yato, Dash, and how you doubted the action pick. Look at him in a 1v2. Uh-oh, this might be when it comes into fruition. Haru with the Ignite ticking. Okay,
this is why I'm doubting.
I just jinxed it, Dash. I'm so sorry, Yato.
No! Why did you? Oh my, that's the jinx right there from Tatum. But hey, ATC losing Yato, giving a bit of the goal right there. Big shutdown that they have taken onto the bottom side together with the tower. This could potentially help them out in surviving for a bit longer. Right now, just because of that kill, the goal lead 3K a while ago, now it's just 1.8.
Exactly. Huge turn of gold here for HAU. Almost evening is out completely. Now my eyes are on Shino here, Dash. I mean, for the most part, Lucian is one of those ADCs that are very flashy, right?
Yeah.
Very play-making. Shino has yet to show us that spotlight performance in this game. Mostly because they don't have a lot of map control, but partly also because he has not been joining these team fights because, well, How has just not been looking for these team fights. Right now, though, I think this is a perfect spot for them to do so. Just completed the shutdown. Maybe if they were able to upgrade the man immune here from Shino, they will be potentially looking for an engagement. But for the moment, gentleman's agreement muna ulit tayo.
Yep, chill muna all around the map. 1K gold din lang yung nakikita natin for them. And 2 towers are down. They have taken down the top lane turret, which is very big for the side of ATEC. So right now, they're waiting for the objective to come in 1 minute before the refill comes out. And we're seeing a lot of vision already for the side of Valiant Esports. So right now, let's talk about the game. Because we have been seeing it. ATEC, they've been struggling to go on fights because right now, how? With 12v7, they can go for pick-offs anytime they want because they have the tools to go for it.
Absolutely true. How are they going to go for it? Here comes the quickness. Grand Entrance does not connect onto anyone. And
that's big. They lost that.
Yung engagement ng TEC.
Okay, they lost that, but they still have time. 30 seconds before the objective comes in. And we're seeing that Fragile doesn't have any cooldown reduction. It only has a Rod of Ages. Yes, that's okay. He would have damage though. But onto the repelled fight, it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah. And the thing is, parang all or nothing. Yung mga engagement dito ng isang Rakano when you don't have that CDR. Yes, you've got tankiness. Yes, you've got CDR. But that's the thing, right? Fragile really needs that tankiness. He needs to survive long enough to provide the CC for Yato and Yabs here. Otherwise, though, they're just going to be the sole focus of the damage dealers of HAU at this point. Speaking of HAU, slowly working their way towards the Shelly here. Nakita sila ng ATEC. They can look for a fight here.
Okay, they have the vision. They can go for this if ever they want to, though. They have only 3 people, or rather 4 people right here for the fight right here. All the Grand Entrance on the back line. 2 people are down, and they're gonna go for it. Komi's gonna fall. They still get the referral, which is good for Valiant Esports, but they're losing the fight. A lot of AoEs are coming in. Look at Yato. He might be able to get the survival right there, and that's Haru falling down. Shadow Surge on the tree, and then Fleck is gonna go there to take 2 kills down with him. But they have the revival. ATEC, Yato is making the magic work for them. Enma fighting against Shino, but still not going to be taking anything less. 3-4-0. They got some kills, but revive is there.
Beautiful execution here for TEC, providing a lot of that attention towards protecting Yato. And again, the engagement here for Fragile on point. And Shino, unfortunately, not at that point yet where he can deal anywhere near as much damage as Yato and Yabs can combine. Not to mention that Enma has yet to fall down a single time this entire game. Just consistently dishing out damage while providing that front line here is giving ATEC a lot of space.
Love to give the credit a lot of Fragile. A lot of the entrances, the grand entrances, even without the quicknesses, has been very great. He's always been getting 2 or 3 people every time, especially the right targets. That's why ATEC always has some space for them to just engage on this fight. Right now, Rift held onto the mid lane, but they still have a chance to get the Mountain Drake if ever they want to.
Started right now.
Oh, they turn it down.
Yeah. They're looking for an engagement dito. No, they can see that the Fiora Cool is on the top side, but ATEC, they are swarming that Drake. So how not really able to pivot here. They found a newfound respect here for ATEC. Double on
Shadow
the fear.
Surge.
Shadow Surge
Faces.
forward, but NVLEC just does not have enough in the bag to shut down Yato. And that's another free kill for TEC.
One of their big engages is down, so this could be a chance for ATEC to just go for the Mountain Drake. They haven't had this space. A 4v5, a big win could be much in need here. Remember, Fragile does have the quickness right here. He popped it already just to force them back. They can start this if ever they want to. Right now, the fight is there. Fragile's gonna fall, but right now the damage from the needlework is just really big. Harrow's gonna be the next target right there. More slice and dices, but no survival for you, because they're gonna go all to the back line. Look at that. Members of How are falling one by one, and ATEC is still chasing them down. Look at the damage from Enma, and that's the kill. And Nivlek is surviving, but that's 5 people you're gonna be fighting again, sorry.
Almost the ace here for TEC as Nivlek went down. That pickoff was the key for that team fight. HAU has got so much respect now for TEC. And even then, TEC still locked for the engagement. And it all started again with the engagement from Fragile. Hindi natin nakita ilan yung tinamaan niya. But because he was able to find that opening against HAU, it was a beautiful start here for TEC. What can HAU do? Shino doesn't have enough damage.
Okay, Shino doesn't have any damage at this point in the game, and we haven't expected that he's not going to go for the crit run. He went in for the Black Cleaver to the Manamune, so that's early game damage, supposedly. But we haven't seen them pop off in the early game, and also Cool has been shut down. ATEC, their win condition, the people that they needed to shut down, they shut them down completely.
Yeah, makes you wonder why there's so much priority for Delusion in this series, right? I mean, this is not the typical Shino plays. I mean, sure, it's an ADC, but Shino loves playing those hyper carries. They could have gone for, I don't know, a Vayne. I wouldn't mind.
Or a Corki. They get that Lucian to Kelvin.
Even a Kaisa.
Yeah.
I mean, anything here is possible. Could have been picked up here by Shino, but again, questionable drafting here for HAU, proving to be the bane of their existence in this particular game, as ATEC looking to force their advantage now. Baron is getting threatened here by TEC, drawing a lot of presence here from HAU, but again, I have to commend HAU with their map control. They're still pushing up despite the fact that they're so behind. 1v1 though, on top side, can Cool actually keep up without? I think he can.
This is what's great about Cool though. Even if they're on the losing end, Cool is just going to be fulfilling what Fiora does.
Yeah.
Fiora just goes for split pushes every time, and a 1v1 is not
a problem.
Fiora is not going to be backing away from a 1v1, even if it's a Gwen. And that's why right here, we're seeing them getting more priority around the map, and that's exactly what they need. If Cool goes for the Hull Breaker here, would be a big potential here for them to go for the split push. So I think that is the next round. There you go. Hull Breaker is there.
Exactly. And it's creating so much space here for HAU. I mean, don't let the scoreboard deceive you guys. Kahit sabihin natin 0-3-1 dito si Cool. He is the single biggest anchor in the side lanes that is permitting HAU off this map control. Kaya sinasabi natin na kahit 4,000 gold behind HAU, lagpas pa rin yung control nila over the river because of the presence of Cool. They have to respect Cool because nobody can 1v1 Cool at this point. Which is why HAU, they are banking so much on Cool right now. However, he does not have the teleport enchant, just has the basic boots. So kailangan nilang maging careful kung saan nila ilalagay yung position ni Cool.
He's thinking kung ano talaga yung bibili niya dito, which is great right now. The Grand End assault to the backline. Yes! They got the kill on Kelvin. They can get the Baron Datum.
Again, They can start the fight here. Lalo na alam nila na it's just at most 3 people here on the Baron pit. There is this might available here for Haru, but they do have enough damage. Here comes top, the bottom side 1v1.
1v1.
Grand challenge here, but the healing is just so much for both of these
Cool.
squads. Look at
Wow.
now! With the outplay, with the snip, and ATEC, they're looking for another one engagement. Grand entrance connects onto Shino into the backline, stays his spot on both sides. As Shino survives here, dealing the damage from the backline.
Valiant
ATEC, can they
Esports.
weather the storm? Yato makes an entrance with the swing.
Yato
Shino,
has been
1
signed.
HP, but he goes down. Shino for the shutdown. It's a 3-for-3 as HAU buy themselves the time.
Great positioning from Shino during the whole fight. He was just up in the range. During that time, Valiant Esports was able to get the positioning. The space that Shino needed was given during that fight. And right now, we can see ATEC struggling on this fight.
Oh my gosh, it's just the back and forth swing here between these two squads. And at the end of the day, Josh, it's the ADCs that make the difference. Shino finally finding that spotlight, albeit a little late into the game, but the Blade of the Ruined King completed, working towards his 4th item now. This
There
is
you
where
go.
he starts becoming online.
There you go. The 4th item, that is when they needed it the most. Right now, ATEC struggled to keep their foot forward during that fight. 0-4 onto Cool. It was not as big as a kill, but remember, 3-1 etong si Ao, pero nag-struggle pa rin siya sa 1v1 against Cool. And we've seen that time and time again. This Fiora of Cool is just making it hard for the members of ATEC.
Had to use the barrier and the exhaust. Para lang
Definitely.
dito si Cool. And Cool did not even use the flash. So he can look for another engagement just like that because of the Hullbreaker. Because of how well he plays this character, this champion that is Fiora. And just like that dash, it feels like an even game. Back to square one we go. But HAU,
17.
look at their map control.
Yeah, 8-17, but they got the towers down, and it's really hard to put someone
Okay, here
out
we
there
go.
right there. Another grand entrance, quickness is being used. He still has the grand entrance to work with, but Comic, glacial pressure to pull him back. He was able to run away, but this is a problem. Kelps went in. Stasis is there. He's gonna fall, and this is a 2-0 right there onto the side of ATEC. They want to chase Haru right there. They still have the slows coming in. Slice and dice is up, and they can still back away from this dominance to survive for just a bit, though. He doesn't have any stasis. He's gonna fall, and 3 people are down. Just like that from the side right here of Valiant Esports.
HAU stepping their bounds a little bit far forward, and ATEC with the beautiful punish there. Pwedeng lang mag-lord dito unless Cool can find a miracle, unless Shino can shut them down. 10,000 left on the Baron HP, and mukhang mag-contest sila dito. Dash, gusto nilang lumapit. Merong the calling from Shino, but they can't do anything. They can't even get close unless... Nope, there's not gonna be an unless. The snip, the needlework, and everything thrown at the face of Cool, trying to survive. Flashes behind, but still will go down because of the exhaust, and that's the ace for 8-Tech.
Doesn't even need to finish it. They have the Ocean Drake coming for their side. 40 seconds on the clock. They can play it safe. They still have a lot of gold lead here from the side of ATEC. Right now, Valiant Esports, they lost a lot of space. They lost Haru, so that's why these objectives are just going to be given to the side of ATEC.
Oh my gosh, Darren and 2 Drakes under their belt. This is gonna swing it right back, but this time definitively for the side of FIT. 6,000 gold lead, man. Ito na yung point na masasabi natin na, teka lang, may advantage na talaga dito. Yung FIT, hindi na pwedeng basta-basta maghanap ng teamfight dito. Yung HAU and Cool cannot survive long enough anymore in these side lanes because they can anticipate just where he's gonna go, and there's not enough presence here. Wala siyang masyadong wave clear against these Baron up minions, so for now, HAU are gonna have to play back, but for how long can they do that?
Yun
What
nga.
type? What can time buying buy them?
Yeah, the situation right now for ATEC is that they can push a lot of the side lanes, and right now, we have the Rabadon stat cap na kasi for Ao, which is the reason why hindi na kaya makipag 1v1 dito ni Cool against him. So right now, ATEC just need to make sure that their backline is safe. Like Leato right now being chased down right there with the Ruthless Predator. Stasis has been called already. They have the quickness and the Grand Entrance on the backline. They got the knockup coming in, and they still don't have enough damage, but look at this. The backline on the other side, Shino, is still surviving. They have Fragile down. This might be the chance right here for Valiant Esports. This is what they're looking for. Yaz is down 2-0. Make that 3. Enma also falls, and the spacing from ATEC is just bad, and that's why Valiant got the win.
Shino playing that to perfection. He was staying alive for so long, pulling the culling a little bit early, and so many people flash in his face. Enma, Yabs trying to shut him down, but refusing to go down, is single-handedly what won that team fight for HAU. Again, Dash, we look at the gold, and it's swinging right back for HAU. Almost even at this point. It's getting to a point na hindi na mahalaga yung gold lead. It's all about the objective fights. And speaking of objectives, we got the biggest one in the game, the Elder Drake.
Yeah, Elder Drake being started already right here for the side of Valiant Esports. They need to start this and fast because right now, most of the members right here of ATEC aren't going to be able to take this though. They don't have the time. They don't have any teleports. They haven't changed to teleport, and that's why Valiant Esports are just taking this Elder Drake.
It's just punishment on top of punishment between these two teams. It's looking a lot reminiscent of this upper semifinals here, Dash, but with both teams giving it all that they've got. This is the grand finals that we were hoping for, and certainly good enough, more than good enough, perfect to fit the bill here for both of these storylines coming into this best of 5. However, this is the last push for HAU. ATC, they could just buy time. They have a lot of wave clear anyway. But how HAU, they have to look for that opening. Do they have that strong engagement that's on par with Fragiles?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think what they can do here for the side of Valiant Esports, what they did a while ago, the fight, the reason why they won the fight a while ago is because they divided the fight.
Yeah.
Individually, they're very strong. And that's why ATEC are struggling. They need to make sure that if Fragile goes for the engage, he's just going to get 2. Because if that 2 falls, at least the other members would be able to fight back.
Elder Drake, though. So
They're not fighting.
Exactly.
ATEC are respecting it.
yeah, exactly. HAU, time is ticking away, but now they've got the space. Baron spawned up. And this is a Baron that ATEC cannot give away here for HAU. Cool. Pag nag-1v1 sila dito, AO is most definitely gonna go down here, especially with the Guardian Angel completed here by Cool. That's why they're respecting it so much. The Baron is gonna be taken by HAU. Another great call here, sacrificing the probability of Cool maybe going down. But look at him, he's still surviving. If he doesn't go down here, it's gonna be absolutely perfect
Flash?
for HAU. Flash to stay alive, barrier as well. Immortality pops, he will go down, but it's okay. HAU has got the Baron buff.
Yeah, they got the Baron, and now with this, Valiant Esports now cemented their advantage against the members of ATEC. Valiant Esports are really gonna be going at it for the long game, even if their composition doesn't really fit it. ATEC, Glacial Fissure onto Enma. If Enma falls here with Elder Drake, it's gonna be falling. ATEC is losing a lot of their members. Fragile's gonna fall without any engagement on their side. Look at the backline though. They're trying their best to get something, but Haru is still surviving here. 4 people are down, and ATEC lost just like that. The Elder, the Baron onto the hands of Valiant Esports. 2 big fights they lost, and that's why ATEC lost that fight. Valiant are showing their might.
Valiant Esports with the comeback off the back of Chino's consistency, resiliency, and refusal to relent here. 2-1. They force us into a turnaround of a game. And what? How did they do that, Dash?
Valiant Esports, we've seen them. Their composition, we doubted a bit on their damage during the late game, right? But the reason why they've won a lot is because of the fact that Cool has been slowly ticking. He's shoveling, he's digging against ATEC's base slowly but surely, and that's why ATEC didn't have the space for them to take the objectives. And when it came down to the objectives, that is when they got it. They had the space, and now ATEC was really struggling on positioning, especially they can go for 5v5s, but every time it comes to the fight, someone gets picked off.
They couldn't deal with Cool, and HAU, they just were so good. You can see the micro play from each of these players from Valiant. You can see Shino just giving it all to stay alive in the backline. But that's the thing. I feel like that is the biggest takeaway from those team fights, is that Mayhem may have put a little bit too much attention towards shutting down Shino, because we talked about Shino's build. He didn't go for the crit, just went for the Blade of the Wing King Black Cleaver build. So he wasn't dealing as much damage as their ADCs were, but they were still putting so much attention towards shutting him down, which made them in very uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, that is why I'm surprised a while ago. The reason why I am really surprised about the picks there from the side of ATEC is why they had the Samira. That is one of the things that I was surprised. I think I would prefer a Lux getting picked on their composition. A Ziggs is bad. The Ziggs was bad. I think the Lux could have been good, because honestly, the Ziggs or the Lux would have been good. At least they have damage onto the back line. At least try to take down Shino, because Shino was the one spacing it out pretty well. But if they had the Lux there was enough light bindings, final sparks that could space them out, and that's why I wasn't able to see any Inferno triggers from the Samira. Honestly, I haven't seen
I think we did. Come on, give him some credit. I think we did.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I haven't seen
maybe one or
anyone.
two. One or two.
Maybe.
But what a series, Dash. Oh, kailangan ko umupo muna. Teka, upo muna. Because this series
Crazy.
is just absolutely taking the life out of me. Grabe talaga, Valiant Esports just showing us just how much they prepared for this matchup. Pero Mayhem, they're right up there with him. Yung konting difference lang talaga yung nagsashine para dito. And even then, it's just the slivers, the tiniest of cracks that are making the biggest difference.
Yeah, and I said a while ago, no, yung Valiant Esports, I think the reason why they picked during the drafting for the first game is that they're trying something out. They're trying something out during the first game, and after that, they drafted seriously. And during the 2 games that we had, yes, we had the Lucian, Shino going for the Lucian. A bit nung huli, we didn't see a lot of damage coming from the Shino until he got the Cyril the Scrudge. After he got the Cyril the Scrudge, that is when he spaced so well. Nakita natin nagda-dash in, dash out lang siya during the whole fights, and nobody can chase him. And the problem there is, Fragile didn't had a lot of chance para mag-grand entrance quickness sa backlane.
Yeah. He was bringing priority towards dismantling the entire team.
Yeah.
That Shino is always going to be in the backline, right?
Yeah.
Always going to be that ADC. And of course, it wasn't the perfect game from Shino. Nakita natin na nilalaro niya yung Lucian na parang Kaisa pa rin. He was playing it like a Vayne or a Kaisa, but at the end of the day, it still worked out. All he had to do was stay alive, and despite how their composition worked, they still played by their own playstyle, by their signature playstyle. So, ganun talaga yung problema when you pag binakbak mo yung pag nakipagbakbakan ka sa Holy Angel at their own playing field, you have very little chance of winning.
Yeah, ang hirap talaga whenever you go for on their side, they tried to go for the Samira. I was kind of thinking why they went for the Samira, because remember they have a lot of AoE CCs that they can work with sa side ng A-Tech, which is why it's okay to pick the Samira. But most of the time, the reason why you pick a Samira is because you don't have a lot of execute damage. If you have the execute damage from the Inferno trigger would be good, but because of the way it worked, na nag-pick sila ng Renekton on their side, it's hard to pull an Inferno trigger against them.
Yeah, it's hard to even stack up the Inferno trigger to even be able to use it in that regard. And sinabi mga kanino, there's a reason why pros generally don't pick Samira in these types of games.
Pros don't pick Samira.
And
Got him.
nakita naman natin kung gaano naghirap talaga dito yung ATEC finding relevance with that Samira. So again, we go back to the draft, right? It really is the difference maker between these two teams. Kasi if you could take a look at nitpick just the tiniest of plays here in the team fights, grabe talagang magkakadikit lang yung talents and yung prowess ng mga players natin.
Ang lakas ng mga players natin. We have seen them a lot, especially during all the alliance games that we've seen from FIT, from how we have seen these players. A lot of them are very experienced talaga, and even in Conquest we have seen them a lot. There's a bit of changes when it comes to FIT, pero how it's basically almost the same, na nagpapalit-palit lang sila ng players unti-unti, pero it's almost the same core of people pa rin na meron tayo sa Holy Angel University. And that's why right now we are seeing them at their peak. Ang lakas ng how Valiant Esports right now, and that's why for now FIT needs to put their best foot forward for this next game. Game 4 tayo.
Yeah, I think it's about high time that FIT realized that the game starts before the game starts. It starts at the draft. And maybe yung playstyle na pinuntahan nila in that last game was to play for their comforts. Maybe gusto lang talaga nilang mag-Samira. And I like that idea. But in this scenario, you have to still pick your battles. You have to still pick your scenarios very, very carefully. Especially now. Series point na yung Valiant Esports how.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really think is great for them, I hope that they would be able to pick up the 6. 6 is going to be very important for A-Tech here.
Exactly. Makes a lot of sense. And I really don't like the strat na ATC is going for fighting fire with fire, just out Shinoing Shino, and we've seen it twice in a row now.
Yeah, just pick a mage.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Yeah,
be yourself.
Pick a mage.
Yeah, not necessarily mage. Anything. Basta alam na yun.
Yeah. So guys, check out nyo lang yung pinned comment nga pala. Meron tayong pinned comment dyan for the merch, so just check that out first. But again, back tayo sa sinabi mo, do your thing. Yeah, I think they should do their thing. If they're gonna be, I think if at this point, right now, Shino has become a solid ADC already established dito sa collegiate scene natin. I think out-Shinoing Shino is, I don't know, that's very hard.
There's not a lot of people who can, or there's no one else that
who
can
out Shino. Okay.
there's literally nobody else that plays ADCs at this level. At this current meta.
Yeah.
There's literally no one else. Kahit tumingin kayo sa ibang ibang bansa, guys, walang gumagawa nun, si Shino lang. So, just play to your comforts. That is their comfort. That's HAU's default playstyle. So, ATAC, they have to find their own personality. They have to find their own playstyle here, is what I'm trying to say. But, oh, grabe, Dash. Yung predictions natin, mukhang
Mukhang hala na ako, no? Nakita ko rin, napatingin din ako. Sabi ko, parang wala na.
It's not too late though. It's not too late.
I mean, hindi, kasi 3-1 kasi yung pinredict ko. Kaya,
I mean, I know. Pero it's not too late for TC.
yeah, for them to win. But at this point, especially when it comes to best of fives, no? Kasi the hardest thing about this is dahil 2 games pa yung lalaro in the ATEC dito, it would be a lot of effort
If ever.
for them. If ever naabot pa doon. Kasi if Valiant Esports isa na lang, they're at match point at this point. And are they gonna be still sitting on that throne after this game? Kasi still, they have been showing greatness. Kasi naka-comeback pa sila from a big deficit against FIT.
Yeah, exactly. ATEC looking to dethrone the Emperors that we have right now on the OG Finals. Grabe, no? Yung pinakaunang, guys, if you didn't know, this is the first ever Grand Finals sa ating OG Season 3 Split 2. And
Actually, yeah.
grabe yung playing field talaga. Make sure na you're not gonna miss the games tomorrow because we've got a whole day packed with Grand Finals.
Yeah, a lot of Grand Finals. And this is the first one that we're gonna have na meron tayong mananalo. And also, at the stakes that we're gonna be seeing, all 5 rin ang nakasalalay dito sa kung sino mananalo dito sa ATEC and also Valiant.
Teka lang, Dash. Pigilan mo na kita. Kita ba yung screen right now? Nasa gitna ako eh.
Oo nga, no?
Ipo tayo.
Usig tayo. Yan. Dito ako sa side ng Valiant Esports. I'm at the Valiant team now. Okay.
Huy. That was not what I was hearing when we were having our briefing kanina.
That's true.
But yeah, Dash. It's a beautiful Saturday. I hope everyone is having a blast watching our two teams go at it with everything they've got, and I hope everyone is having a beautiful Saturday evening dito sa ating ano ba yun? Second week of December?
Second week
of December. Anyone? Okay, Dash, gusto ko nang tanong sa'yo. Do you have any holiday plans? Mag-ano ba kayo? Mag-beach ba kayo? Or
beach
on
on this weather? I don't know if I think
nasa Pilipinas naman tayo. So
well,
any weather is beach
very
weather.
true. I don't know if we have the chance though, but I think you could. Ikaw ba? Ano ba muna yung sa'yo? Kasi ako, right now, I'm just thinking of buying games and Steam sale. Wala, yun lang talaga yung gusto ko gawin. And maybe play. Yun lang yung gusto ko. Or maybe, grind Wild Rift.
Oo nga. Alam mo, dati yung reason ko ba't di ako makapag-grind ng Wild Rift kasi wala akong phone. Pero ngayon,
Oy, hey, you have new phone.
A little bit too much information dito, Dash. Magpunta na tayo sa ating drafting phase. Is this gonna be the same bands? Garin na naman. Prioritize nila.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing that we're gonna be having every time. Hindi nila papalabasin talaga kasi they have seen Haru use the Yone already before. So that's why hindi tayo nakakita ng Yone getting picked on these games kasi they struggled before on Haru's Yone kaya ayaw talaga nila ipapick yan.
Yeah, exactly. And that really gives a lot of priority po sa Aatrox natin. No? That means na hanggat hindi naban yung Aatrox, palagi tayong makakita ng Aatrox. And pag hindi rin naban yung Gwen, palagi din tayo makakita ng Gwen as a response to it. However, maybe there are some changes due here. And what is this? Lucian, banana away ng Holy Angel.
Oh, getting the Lucian up just leaves them a lot of options for the side of Valiant Esports. Kasi with the Lucian getting banned, they can get the Jace. Oh, never mind. So the Jace, they can take the Gwen. Or the Karma. Yeah, I forgot about the Karma.
Yeah. Is this a game na makakita tayo ng Sigs, Dash?
I think
Not.
hindi nila ipaprioritize for ATEC. I think sa second rotation, based on how they picked talaga, they can get the Aatrox, they can get the Gwen. Same composition so far. And if ever Valiant Esports, same answer. They will just have cool, just take off the mantle and just pick off the Fiora again. I think that
makes sense.
That was a good answer a while ago.
Pero I would love to see a different look here from Valiant. Di pa tayo nakikita ng Camille sa kanila. But Fiora does make a lot of sense. Yung Galio still up for grabs. Gragas is up for grabs as well. They want to go for that anti-engage kind of strat that they did go for in the game number 1 did work for the most part, but I was unable to close out the game, which is probably why Valiant Esports are defaulting back towards that Gragas. But I really do not think that was a problem. Gome was fantastic on that Gragas, so I wouldn't be surprised if they picked that here, but still a lot of options available.
They can pick the Gragas here. Dito sa side ng ATEC if ever they want to. Kasi, never. No. That's not gonna be it. That's not gonna be it. Okay, so Nautilus is gonna be picked on their side and try to deny the Vex?
I mean,
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Alam mo, Dash, nag-ano tayo ng expectations dito, pero ano yung hope mong makita?
Yeah, I think with this, no? Kasi with what I'm hoping, I think yung Ziggs talaga, yung nakikita ko magandang potential dito for their pick. And that's why, looking at this, they banned the Olaf kasi nakakita na agad sila ng Vex, which is pretty smart for the side of ATEC. But they're losing all the options here for Valiant Esports kasi pwede mag-pick naman ng Kai'Sa every time. Kung bibigay nila to kay Kelps, okay lang. Kung bibigay nila kay Shino yung Karma, okay lang. They have a lot of flexibility with this comp for Valiant Esports so far.
Yeah, and I think a lot of teams really do undermine Shino kasi hindi siya makapag-play ng ibang roles. But we've seen him on the Karma before.
Yeah.
And it was pretty effective as well. I think we've seen him once on a Vex as well. Played it pretty effectively, albeit against ATEC, hindi sila nakapagwagi. Pero parang for the moment, ATEC lang talaga yung 50-50 Kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? Minsan Kryptonite sila for Valiant, minsan hindi. But the thing is, right now, it's gonna be ATC on that Vex. So I would not be surprised if this is gonna be Shino back on one of his ADCs. Kai'Sa is up. So makita ng Vayne, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think Kai'Sa is a better pick here.
That's true, but I want to see a Vayne.
Yeah. Oh!
Okay, that makes sense too. Coupled with a Nautilus as well. So much early game. Actually,
the level 2,
yeah,
the level
exactly.
2 kill.
Level 2
Pwede nilang
damage,
kunin dito, no? But having the Shinzao onto Haru, with this composition, I think the Shinzao works well. But later in the game, kasi they don't have a lot of range champions yun naman sa side ng ATEC. But at least, what's great about the Shinzao is that it pulls back everybody. So, kumbaga, ipupush back niya everybody. So, ATEC, with their composition na lalapit sila lahat would be good.
Yeah,
but the Gragas was a better answer.
Yeah, I was about to point out. Xin Zhao basically accomplishes the same thing that an explosive cask
yun
does.
sana yung papapuntahin ko rin But good thing they picked the Gragas.
They do pick the Gragas. And finally, we're gonna be seeing it once more. Guys, just a quick reminder dyan sa pinned comments natin. Basahin nyo lang. Yun ang sulat dyan because 3 lucky commenters on our Facebook post will receive exclusive all-G merch. Guys,
Sana halls.
It's absolutely free. Mag-comment lang kayo.
Yeah.
Comment nyo na lang yung favorite team nyo na kung gusto nyo manalo sa series na to.
Yeah.
Deadline is December 11, so that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. So, makakita tayo naman nanalo tomorrow. So,
guys, all-G merch.
Yeah. Yun nga. Pero, yoy, Tatum. Graves.
Yeah.
Hindi ko na-point out yung Graves. Kasi, with the Graves, no? It's okay. Kasi, they lost damage with this composition. Kasi, they're gonna be putting they're gonna be putting this Graves onto the jungle for sure, and having the Vex onto the bot lane, which is pretty nice with their composition already. So they have the damage, they have the physical damage that they're needing, but on the other side, Valiant Esports, eto yung composition nila. All of them are putting their basket onto the 2 players.
Exactly.
Si Cool tsaka si Shino talaga, yung panggagalingan ng damage.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, no, if it doesn't work, we go to game 4.
we
go into game 5 pala. No, this is already do or die for it's already no, not do or die, but it is series point for Valiant Esports, and then ATEC have to extend the series. The featured matchup this time is going to be Kome and Kome back on the Gragas. Nakita naman natin yung performance niya in the first game, no? This time with a more cohesive composition, I want to say.
Yeah.
Pero with a riskier one, I want to say too.
Yeah, way better itong composition na to for them. Kasi with, if ever kasi pwedeng mag-Nautilus pa rin si Kome would go for the Nautilus
True.
So, they can go for the Gragas jungle. The only thing that I'm really afraid of is that right now, AP junglers aren't really that favored. So, I hope that Valiant Esports has a way to work around it. But ATC Mayhem, we have Ao on them. I think Ao is gonna be the one using the Gwen again, but we've seen Cool winning even against it's a 0-5, 0-4 na Fiora.
I mean, Dash, I think at this point, I think hindi na natin pwedeng gamitin yung hindi malakas sa meta right now.
Yeah.
Yung
Kasi
itong
may
specific
sarili
pick
silang
na to.
meta.
Kasi may sariling mundo. Itong Holy Angel University. And for some reason, they make it work. Case in point, Tristana, Lucian. so ngayon, the Tristana is I'm gonna be very excited to see, but yeah, I'm really excited to see if Kome goes back to that Gragas. They really will be needing the explosive cask deterrence when it comes to the engages dito if they want to keep those two players alive. Pwede nga natin sabihin isang player lang kasi Cole is gonna be creating that space on the side lane, so kailangan na lang protektahan si Shino. And having said that, they have to work double time kasi siya lang yung sole focus dito ng TC.
They can go for that, and especially during fights, magiging 4v4 naman tayo. Makikita natin si Cole nag-split push lang against Al for sure. So this 4v4, yung 4 na nasa composition natin right now, I think it is really gonna be favoring onto the side right here of ATEC, and they just need to shut down Shino. Pag hindi nila shut down si Shino, easy win for Valiant Esports.
But that feels like the case for most of our games today dito, no? And this time it's all ito yung pinaka true yung statement na yon, no? It's a lot of eggs into the Tristana baskets. They have to make it work here should they want to close the series out right now. This is the comfort pick of Shino, the Tristana that he brings out ever so often, and this is the potential last game of our grand finals.
Yes.
Match point for HAU.
Match point for Valiant Esports. They can win all of it and
Match
still be
points.
on to the all 5 for the side right here if they win against ATEC. So all hands on deck. But right now, ATEC, looking at both of their junglers still, going back to the same thing that we've seen a while ago, Tatum. We're seeing Yato in with the Braves. Okay.
Yeah, Haru going for the jungle, as you mentioned, not really the best in the meta right now. So it will be Kome on the support role instead. Pero that means Haru can be a little bit more proactive, a little bit less reactive on this Gragas once he hits that level 3 mark, when he does have a little bit of damage. The body slam, he's there. The face rush being there as well allows for a little bit more of a playmaking potential dito. But for the most part, I will be expecting this game to pan out again on the slower side of things, right? Tristana really is one of those hyper carries and really thrives on that late game, but Shino early rotate towards the middle side. Actually, nagkakataan na dito parehong jungle natin. Early invade from Haru, not really finding anything yet.
Yeah, I love that they have 2 engages for the side of Valiant Esports. Remember, it's a Gragas and the Nautilus. They can engage anytime they want, and that could give the space that they need here for the side of ATEC, or rather for the side of Valiant Esports. But ATEC, the only reason why they have been picking the Braum a lot is because of the fact that Braum is strong against a lot of melee champions, and that's why it's really hard to counter a Braum, especially with the composition or the meta that we have right now in Valorant.
Here we go, engagement coming up. Root connects, which forces out the flash from Enby to the backline. Fragile gets rooted as well. The wall is not going to help you in there, buddy, because Ignite is sticking. And HAU first to draw blood this game.
Great timing, and they lost Fragile already, even burning the flash. And with that, they burned a lot of flash, yes, on the side of Valiant Esports, but they also lost a lot in ATEC. Losing that is really great right here. And even if Kelps gets that, it's okay. At least they got some assists.
Yeah, exactly. How though? With a bit of a quicker start. Nakikita natin earlier, ATEC lagi yung first blood. Hold that. Is Cole actually going to commit to this fight? And dito na yung rotate ni Kome. Na-discover siya ni Fragile dito. So neither of them gonna be committing any further.
Yeah.
Gragas, konti na lang may explosive cast dito si Haru.
Yeah, I think right now with Valiant Esports, what they can do right here is just make sure that they can go for aggressive pushes, kasi we are not gonna be expecting Haru to go for a lot of wave clear. Feel ko mas malaking chance ni Enma na makapag-wave clear na mas mabilis. Pero the gank potential of a Gragas is really big. So that's why it's really scary too.
Yeah, and the playmaking potential of Haru. We've seen him with the Jace. It was absolutely beautiful. We've seen him earlier perform and single-handedly pivot that game for HAU side, and that's what I love about HAU. Every single one of their players can take the spotlight. Every single one of their players can carry, but they don't have to, because they're all very good. ATEC, can they live up to that same part, to that same standard right now, especially that it is do or die for them this time? Let's see.
Yeah. With ATEC having it, going for a fight. Haru, great explosive cast time and time again, but he was pulled back, and that is going to be the kill onto the jungler, and A-Tech is just going to be taking one for all.
Yeah, Haru going down early on means that this top lane tier 1 is going to be a little bit of a threat. Komi is the only one here for the moment. School making his way here. And actually looking for an engagement dito. Dredge line is available. Wala pang ulti ulit si Komi, finally having it up here.
Yeah.
So nobody at the threat of an engage for the moment. ATEC, at least for now, they equalize 1-1 on the score line. But I'm really waiting for the time that Haru becomes proactive here. This seems like the time is now, but this time it's for Enma. Double knockup with the Dark Plague. Make that a triple as they execute Komi.
What was that damage coming in from Enma at this early in the game? They have been getting some kills. Great bait from ATEC in order for them to get a 2v3 and now netting them 1 kill.
Again, it's more of the same from the last series. No, from the last couple of games. No, ATEC picking up a couple more kills than HAU has. Exhaust forcing out the flash from Cool here on the top side. And it feels like ATEC, they have it figured out. Shut down Cool, not let him get that space creation. And now it's all down going to be to Shino.
Yeah, Trinity Force is going to be up. But yeah, Explosive Gas is going to come in and great smite right there. And now with 8 tech, Yaro is going to be left alone right here under the turret. He might fall. He has a flash to work with. Transcendent Embrace is not going to be pulling him back. He got some space for himself, but he didn't survive right there. 2 for 0 already. Fragile going to be the next target. Too aggressive for Shino going in. And Ao is going to fall also onto the top lane. 3 people are down, but they are still surviving onto the bot lane. They still want to go for a fight. There's knockups coming in from ATEC, but Enma, I think, is going to fall here. 1 more shot from kills, but 8 tech surviving for just a bit.
Yeah, Ludin Echo picked up here.
Shadow Surge!
Yeah,
No!
and the Shadow Surge is perfect. Can even get a second if he gets the connect. A little bit of BM sprinkled on top as he goes for the Kome execute. Can he actually pull it off? Yes, he will. Yabs double, and it's the perfect timing too because Rift Herald is now up.
A bit of MSG from 8 tech. Great kill.
Salt Bay action.
Oh, yes. We've seen it. Again, 8 tech getting the trade that they needed during that fight, making it a 3-4-3 is a big win overall. But right now, Harry's taking the Rift Herald. It would be taking a bit longer compared to ATEC, but this is an Infernal Drake. This is a very much needed Drake, especially for a lot of damage from ATEC's composition.
Haru's got no help coming into this shell. Thankfully, will be able to secure it in time into the pop of the top side. So HAU, again, will be able to pick up here the first turret. But look at the rotate immediately coming out from ATEC. They might potentially look for an engage here. Yato farming on towards the bottom side of the map. Pero for the most part, nobody really coming out on top apart from actually not much of a difference except for the top lane matchup. 1,000 gold in favor of Cool.
Yeah, again, FIT with their composition. I think I don't really know where the placement of Yato's pick here, Graves, is going to go. Because right now, he can go for a lot of wave clear or maybe just go for the side lane pressure for the side of FIT. Valiant Esports, I know what they're going to do. They just want to make Shino, or at least punch, or what is that? Pump gold onto Shino every time that they can.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Cool at this point, even though he's still ahead because he's performing so well, you can see that ATC are desperately trying to shut him down with very little results, you can imagine. But now Shino, because of that attention pivoted towards top side of the map, Shino is free to farm up right now. I mean, sure, doesn't have a clear advantage for the moment, but the more time they give over towards Shino just farming up in these lanes, the scarier the prospect of this game looks to be for TEC.
Yeah, they want to go onto the bot lane based on how they are playing right here, Zaydam. What I like about this, though, is that Valiant Esports, especially with the Navori quick plays on the Shino, they just want to spam every time. They want to push as fast as they could. And that is the reason why Tristana is a good pick here, because if you're not going to be picking Ziggs, at least you have this. Look at them just pummeling this tower in the bot lane.
Again, it's shot calling that shines here. Very reminiscent of game number 1 here. Not really relying on their damage dealers, but instead on their pushing potential. In ATEC, ito talaga yung nakikita natin na difference maker, no, when it comes to these slow burn type of games. Hindi makakeep up eh.
Explosive gas, both perfect timing. They have the flash. Stasis has been burned already. I think Yams is gonna be dead here. Had transcended the brace onto 2. They got 2. Knock up onto the body slam. They have a lot of people here. I think this is gonna be fragile falling, but they survive. Enma onto the back line, not gonna be hitting onto anyone. Popping the gargoyle enchant, and still they're struggling to get some kills. FIT is having a hard time here, but they still have the needlework. Body slam is gonna be half for Haru, but they can't still get any kills until now. But Cole onto the back line gets the kill. Ow is gonna be there. They have their riposte, and I think Cole is gonna be surviving for so long, but the damage onto them, they didn't finish any kills, and that's why 3 people are down onto their side. ATEC struggling to finish anything.
Cool with a massive flag. It faltered for a little bit there, but he did not go down. That's the key here for HAU. They got 2 kills.
Yeah.
And 2 kills and a half. Yeah, so almost went down there. But HAU, again, I have to go back to my earlier point, Dash. The rotation is just perfect.
Yeah,
for HAU.
great rotations from the side of HAU, and Cool even just really just going onto the top lane, going into the bot lane. The pressure is just there. And looking at the items right now for Al, I think he won't be able to fight Cool at this point. He has Hullbreaker, he has Triforce, no answers for that Fiora, so that is a big Fiora threat, big Fiora space for the side right here of Valiant Esports.
Exactly. It's just the Fiora playstyle. I'm naming it right now. The How Fiora playstyle. Whenever they bring it out, they are gonna
Yato's
burn
dead.
you slowly. And here we go, forcing out the flash from Yato. Shino, fearless, without any fear in his eyes, and just at the Yordle. So huge in the face of adversity. Yato still surviving until he does not. Shino with the execute.
Buster shot onto Shino. Didn't even hesitate to just go in. Even if they give this Ref Herald, it's gonna be okay. But Haru and Cool are still alive, so they can contest this if ever they want to. But right now, bot lane is ticking. It's gonna fall down pretty fast, because that's gonna be a Tristana fighting against him. Haru, look at this. Ao isn't dealing any damage against him, but Haru is gonna fall here. Ref Herald is gonna be taken by the side of ATEC. But what are they losing? They're losing the second tier turret at the bot side.
Shut down onto Haru, but I'd say worth it because
Shadow
now
Surge.
turn gets down. That's actually a beautiful ulti here coming out of Nivlek, but Stasis popped. Killing spree secured here for Shino. On the dredge line a little bit too far forward, and Nivlek put in a precarious spot. Shino has got to minimize losses. Buster shot not available. Rocket jumps to safety, so at least the ADC doesn't go down.
5k Goldie, they still have the Ref Herald. This might be their chance to push their lead right here onto the side of Valiant Esports, but because they are low on HP, they're going to be losing 2 towers onto the mid lane. That's going to be very big. 2k HP, that's down on the turret, and Mountain Drake could be contested for ATC.
Yeah, there's still some gas left in the tank here for TEC, but look at Haru
gas is up.
looking for the slow
Boom!
cask onto 2, and Ao, okay, in a bit of a bad spot, but Enma, they can turn this around right here, right now. They won't. The Drake will be given away by TEC.
Okay, that's going to be given. They have been chased, and remember, the amount of tankiness for Haru with the Roa, with the Warmox armor, that's a lot of tankiness, and that's why they can even take down their jungler. This is a big threat also for the side of them, because even if it doesn't have any damage, explosive cast, they're having a hard time against it.
Exactly. And at this point, there's not much cooldown reduction going over the side of Haru either, so it's already this big of a headache. Imagine when Haru gets that CDR and gets to spam that explosive gas over and over again. It's looking more and more grim for ATC the longer the game goes on, and that's despite the fact that they have a lot of these tools for the late game.
Yeah, and remember, we are looking at Shino right now, so Lottie Charge Blade onto the Nobori Quick Blades. That's 2 blades already on his hands, and until he gets the 3 items, that is when the point in where, I think we talked about it a lot, mid-game is when Tristana is going to be weak, but after he gets to the late game, maximum range, maximum damage from that 3rd item, so that is when they need to be careful. That is when the ticking time bomb is going to be pretty scary.
And the thing about Tristana too, right, is you don't need mana to deal damage.
Yeah.
You can just use your Q, which is free.
Definitely.
And you got a lot of range, and you can just free hit. It's absolutely fine. Make it couple that with a lot of the plays that Shino is making with his abilities, and it just gets worse and worse and worse here for FIT. And the thing about FIT's composition right now is they don't have something like a Rakan that can pull the trigger here for their side. So how are they going to start the fights as decisively as they could? It seems like with this, they have to use these ultimates, they have to use these flashes, but Cool still doesn't go down.
They committed a lot of things against Cool. That's a flash, that's an ignite being popped, even the ultimate onto Yato. That's a lot of risks that they have taken, and this is the problem with their composition. They have a lot of DPS, but they don't have any way of doing CC against Valiant Esports. How can they do DPS?
Yeah. Maybe Yabs. Yabs is the key here. Start the fight. Or Fragile can be a bit unpredictable, but perhaps Yabs is realistically the biggest shot they have at starting these fights from afar. At least now, Baron is starting up by HAU. A little bit of a risky call here, but they know that they can take this risk because Cool is in a 1v1 out, winning the fight. There is the barrier being available. Cool does not have the flash. Needlework connects. The slow is there. The grand challenge a little bit too late to the party as HAU 4,000 left on the Baron pit. They have to decide, are we going to take the fight or are we going to secure the Baron instead? Root connects. Yato in a bit of trouble, and the Darkened Blade from Nivlek is going to be tanked. Double kill coming over for Nivlek as Ao is terrorizing the bottom side, but HAU, they win the fight. But the split push is happening.
Yeah, split push happening onto the bot side. They're losing a lot of towers here on the side of Valiant Esports. They need to take the Baron just for them to get any trades all around the map. 10 seconds on the clock. We do have the teleport
TP
coming in for Cool, but I think it's not going to be enough. They need to back away from this. They need to reset, but Shino
Baron
and Haru are taking the Baron.
Oh my
Can
god,
they
this
take
is
that?
a
They
very
can.
risky play. Shino does not have the lifesteal, only has pure crit at this point, but that's okay. They could just reset at this point, and perhaps ATEC, if they fancy a fight, this is where it starts becoming one-sided for HAU. And 3 items and a Vampiric Scepter as well for Shino. That's a terror to behold.
Yeah. This is when the Tristana becomes pretty scary. They need to reach the back line if ever they want to win against Valiant Esports here. We have said it time and time again. When they have Shino on their team, that you need to find a way to reach Shino. Because if you don't reach Shino, he's just going to bring terror upon your team. But right now, just because of that one kill a while ago, 11k gold onto Ao. He just redeemed himself just because of that one win.
And Baron threat is up as well here for HAU. They can constantly keep baiting FIT for this split that they're doing. 4 people down in the Baron pit, and Cool constantly becoming a headache here for Ao. It's the battle of ages here. Time and time again, we've seen Ao and Cool do this exact same thing. But this time, HAU, they don't necessarily need Cool to pick off Ao. He just needs to survive here and keep his attention going towards his bottom side.
Yeah, I think he needs to buy the teleport too. Because if ever this fight is going to break, I think they are going to be needing Ao a lot, because we've seen it again during the games. If it's a 4v4, Valiant Esports is going to be winning. ATEC needs Ao in this fight in order for them to win, but right now they're starting the Baron and they are not going to be able to take this. They have the explosive gas 2 onto Haru. They're pulling back, but ATEC, that's a good timing right there. They use all nothing just yet. Explosive gas is going to be pulled, and he wasn't able to hit a lot of these targets.
Oh, it does get the disengagement though, but TEC, they're starting to still pull the trigger. Dredge Line doesn't connect. Half HP left on most of the members here of TEC. Yabs trying to go in. The needlework deals so much damage, but here comes the turnaround. Stasis backline here by Haru. The backline barely surviving here.
Yato
Emma
is
running
dead.
to stay alive. Yato flashes to safety, but Shino on the rampage. Now they're on the hunt. They're on the siege, and they're marching down the base of TEC.
They need to reset here from the side of ATEC. They need a lot of HP. Ao is now not going to be able to defend this if ever they would need it. He doesn't have any needle work. So right now, they can go for the fight. Haru's going to be the target. Because it close right there. It's going to be stunning him down. No jungler. That's going to be big. Might be a chance for ATC to take the Ocean Drake.
Yeah, they can take the Baron here as well, should they want to risk it, but I don't think they have enough damage. Shino, he knows that the Drake threat is up here for TEC, so they're not backing up. They get spotted out, but look at that. They catch it off. Enma goes down. Both teams, no junglers this time, Dash.
Okay, I think it would be a big advantage for Valiant Esports. It's a GV4. If ever they fight against it, Cole is just going to be holding him down onto the mid lane, so this is going to be an easy Drake for the side of Valiant.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a turn around here. And I expected Enma to see that happening too, because he had the sweeping lens.
Yeah.
Still falling prey to that setup from HAU as they secure the second Drake of the day here. And the 6,000 gold lead for the side of HAU. It's a war on two fronts. And they're playing so well around this Tristana from Shino.
We're seeing the power of Kelvs and even Shino right here with the Karma and the Tristana.
So much damage
just
from
working.
Kelvs.
Yeah, they're just working their magic here, especially with the Imperial Mandate. Making Imperial Mandate to the Ardent Sensor. Oh my, that's a lot of boosting for Shino. And right now, 4th item, Bloodthirster is already up. So that is going to be making it hard for ATEC. They need to look at Shino every time.
Exactly. Not just Shino. Cool is barely behind of Ao here, and Ao is the only one that's got enough gold to even contest Shino right now. So you're correct. It is at the point that Shino's attention is required in these team fights, and it seems like it's exactly what they're gonna do here. But look at the CC!
No
Look at the explosive
HP.
gas! 1 HP left on Fragile, but look at the pop onto Haru
45.
as Enma is looking
How
to
is that?
terrorize, but the stasis pops here. Grand challenge will be
Might be the
destroying,
end.
and this might be it. TEC trying to survive, and how they can look for the base.
Good thing that they backed away. ATEC are just going to be losing that fight if ever they try to engage again. 40 seconds on the clock before members are going to be surviving. Look at that. The Dredge is going to be able to hit. Yato was forced
No
to use the
minions.
stasis right there. No minions right there. Very aggressive. Yato right here backing away, surviving for so long, and they still have the door in front of them. They can take them. This tower Dredge line was pretty scary, but still 2 for 1. We still have a chance here for ATEC.
Yeah, Haru does not, or hasn't spawned up yet, so they can't really realistically start the Baron right now, so it's just gonna be the reason. In a minute, the Elder Drake is about to spawn up. This is the last chance for FIT. They have to steal away this Elder Drake if they want to extend the series.
Yeah, they're losing a lot here, Datum, because right here we've seen Shino, Kelps, even without Kelps, it isn't a problem because they are going to be dealing so much damage with the ADC that they had. And they waited for the late game to happen, and that's why 8Tech, even with Ao being a threat when it comes to the damage, they don't have anything else except for Ao. If Ao won't be able to reach Shino, big loss of consistent DPS for the side of 8Tech.
But how? How is he going to be able to do that? How much knockdown potential do they have against this Istrana with so much mobility and so much range and so much damage? 8,000 left and taking for the Baron. TEC a little bit too late to the party. They have to press on right now, but the back line, look at the ult getting committed. Look at HAU. They're splitting up the map on all fronts. TEC are not winning anything, and Baron taken easily by How.
Very big struggle. 10k gold lead. We have seen it right there with the Baron and the Elder Drake being up in 15 more seconds. This might be the end right here. 8Tech, they need a miracle in order for them to win against Valiant Esports. Are they going to be staying here still on their throne on top of the Alliance Games Wild Rift?
It seems like so, unless FIT has got one more miracle left in the bag in the form of an Elder Drake. It's alive and kicking right now, and look at the priority that they're putting towards rotating to that Elder Drake. They're first to the party here, but can they hold on? Cool is pushing. It's constantly Cool. What are they gonna do here, Dash?
They need to do something against Cole with a Baron buff. He's going to be taking this tower even if Ao is here.
Drake.
It's not going to be enough. They're taking the Drake right now, and 8Tech are just going to be losing on all fronts because right now the tower on the top side is going to fall. They even have the Guardian Angel. I think this is going to be it. Elder Drake is down, and they are being chased now by the members, and Cool is finishing the game. Datum, this is it. How Valiant Esports are still your champions of the Alliance Games Wild Rift.
The Emperors will not go down tonight. Valiant will still be the kings of Wild Rift here in All G. And what a way to show dominance in the same fashion that they won the upper bracket against the same opposition. 3-1, Dash.
It started with a 1-0, and that is when I wasn't expecting this to happen, because a lot of the things that happened here is it all came down to how they play around their star player. They played around their win conditions a lot, and most of the time, the only reason why they lost in the first game is because they give Shino Varus. If it wasn't Varus, could have been a 3-4-0 onto the side of Valiant Esports. Yes, the predictions here are great. I think Salvatore and you are very happy because you got the predictions right.
Exactly. Oh, man. And Shino, that distinct playstyle here from HAU definitely proving to us that if you have character and you stick to it, you master your craft, you're gonna succeed. And that's the name of the game here for HAU. Consistency and hard work. The players have worked so hard this entire year to be the champs, and now the results are paying off.
Split 1, split 2. They are the best team right here in the Alliance Games Wild Rift. Valiant Esports have been just pretty strong, and so far nobody has broken the code against them. Yes, they would be able to break a bit, try to dig up a bit on that treasure that they have been hiding. Yes, scratch the surface, but they haven't broken the code against how Valiant Esports, especially this core roster that they have.
Exactly. Today is not the day HAU falls. Instead, they will reassert their presence here at All G. What a starter to our grand finals here, and what's an end to our beautiful day of games. I just can't overstate how much I admire the work that has come into fruition here for the players of HAU. We talk about the tiny changes in the changes in their roster, but still the core players that have been the consistent keys here for HAU. And of course, it's collective effort. I mean, we saw how much cohesion these players have showed up this entire series. Even from a deficit in that game number 2, they still came back.
Adaptation has been the key so far, especially when it came to the draft. Valiant Esports always has adapted to whatever ATech has been pulling against them, and that is the reason why I really like this playstyle coming from them. FIT, yes, they tried their best, especially during the second game that we're seeing right now on the highlights, but look at this. This fight is the reason why they are a great team. Look at Shino, though. Shino, the placement of him during this whole time was really great, though, because most of the time you see this Lucian is just going to be playing around onto the back line. They tried to get it, but because of the draft, they don't have a lot of ways to hold onto the ADC.
And the thing about the HAU roster is that every single one of their players had a spotlight moment in this series. You got Cole constantly on the Fiora, Haru on the Jace game, and then you got Nevlex in this last game with the Karma dealing so much damage. Shino, of course, and you got Kome on that Gragas performance. Each and every time they get pushed to the limits, one of their players turn up, and that's the beauty about this HAU roster.
They never hesitated. They never hesitate whenever they try to think about something, and that is one of the things that I think ATech needs to work on in the future, because so far, right, we have seen how Valiant Esports have been really great on playing around each other, on playing around their gameplay, and even playing around Shino.
Shoutouts to my boy 316 all the way down
from
HAU. My boy's
gotta
gotta be smiling right now.
He's very happy
right now. Congratulations to HAU. You are once more the champions of our All G Wild Rift.
What's even greater?
What?
All 5! They're part of the All 5 right now. With the way they won here, they are now at least at the top 5, or at the 5th place for the All 5. So congratulations again for how Valiant Esports for taking this win against ATech, and so far still being the greatest collegiate Wild Rift team that we've seen ever.
Ever. Let's see next year. You know what? My favorite part about HAU is they're constantly raising the bar.
Definitely.
Right? I mean, you got Mayhem that's stepping up to the plate. I mean, sure, they've fallen short of taking over Valiant Esports as the kings of Wild Rift, but who knows what next year holds? And who knows with the current changes in the meta and perhaps changes in the roster. Who knows what this can bring up as well. I'm super excited for the future here of All G, of our Wild Rift collegiate teams.
The Emperor has still stayed right there on their throne, and they might be getting new clothes though, and the Emperor's new goes right there again with how Valiant Esports getting their win here. Very, very great that we've seen right here on the Alliance Games. Wow, do you have any last things that you want to say to our audience, Aiden?
I just want to say congratulations and thank you so much for staying with us the whole day. Guys, a quick reminder, check out the pinned comments because you have a chance to win exclusive All G merch. Pero hindi naman yun magtatapos right now. That will be still ongoing tomorrow, and make sure not to miss tomorrow's games kasi ngayon, pantikim pa lang to sa end ng All G. Ngayon yung unang grand finals, bukas puro series ender, puro season enders tomorrow. Bukas makikita natin ang mga magwawagi talaga.
And congratulations again for the first placers, second place, and even the third placers, for everyone who has joined the Alliance Games Wild Rift. It has been a very fun 2 months that we had for the whole time that we had this Alliance Games Wild Rift. And again, thank you very much for having us here. We have been your casters for today. Congratulations again for the winners. My name is Dash and I was here with Dayton. We were D&D and we're just going to be seeing you tomorrow for more games here in Acad Arena.
ready to get good? Enter Globe Gamer Grounds, your gateway to good gaming. Enjoy hundreds of open tournaments and earn points and rewards every time you play. Register for free at globegamergrounds.com.